What is going on, Raider Nation? Welcome back to another edition of the Just Win Baby podcast brought to you by the Silver and Black Lounge. I'm RaiderBen. Alongside tonight going to be my guy, Nutty Raider Knight. Tonight, we're going to be talking all things training camp. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a live show. We appreciate every single one of you spending part of your Friday night with us. Before we jump into football, I want to give a huge shout out to every member of the Silver and Black Lounge. Because of your incredible support, we've officially reached 45 members, and that means 2 jersey giveaways are officially locked in. Let's keep this momentum rolling, guys. Our next goal is 60 members, and if we get there, we're adding a 3rd jersey to the giveaway. And don't forget, if we maintain 20 or more members every single month through the start of the 2027 season, the Just Win Baby podcast can be giving away 2 NFL tickets, Raiders versus Chargers in LA next year, man. That's just our way of giving back to this amazing community. Now let's get into tonight's show. Week 1 of Raiders training camp is officially in the books, and we got plenty to discuss. Who's making a serious push for a roster spot? Which players are on the seeing their stock rise? Which are the biggest position battles? Which storylines are real and which ones are being overblown? We'll also break down the impact that Klint Kubiak is already having on this football team, talk more about the development of Fernando Mendoza over the last couple of days, discuss the veterans who have stood out and highlight the players who need a big week 2 of training camp in pads to start the conversation. Plus, we'll get through the thoughts of the chat. Want to hear from all of you guys. Grab your drinks, join the Silver and Black Lounge, pull up a chair. Who was your biggest takeaway from week 1 of Raiders training camp, man? As always, man, one nation, one family, one lounge. Let's rock.
They didn't have to say much. This is the Raiders, you know. This is one of the most historic, franchises in the NFL with a great history that I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of furthering that history. When you say commitment to excellence, okay, and you look at the walls around here, you look at the players on this wall, and there's a history. There's a history of Hall of Fame players here. There's a history of Super Bowls, and that's.
And with all this situation and all this shit I went through, the biggest thing that I took from it is I don't give a what everybody has to say. Truly, I really don't give a.
Play clock down to 1. Williams batted up in the air, and it is picked. Crosby. He has been a beast.
We do believe that this is a game psychologically of intimidation and of fear. I don't mean cowardly fear, but fear.
But the Chargers and all those teams. No, to be honest, I don't like any of them. I hate all teams.
The other team's quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard.
But the Chargers.
What I call the vertical game. We were going to stretch the field vertically. When we came out of the huddle, we weren't looking for first downs. We didn't want to move the chains. We wanted touchdowns. We wanted the big play, the quick strike. It's number 1 to say you want to do that. It's number 2 to say that you have the players to do it, but it's number 3 to do it. Hard. Try not to make mistakes, but don't worry about mistakes because there's only one thing that counts. Just win.
Your commitment to excellence and your will to win will endure forever. You will magnificent.
What's going on, everybody, man? Welcome to another edition of the Just Win Baby podcast brought to you by the Silver and Black Lounge. We got a special guest with us on with us tonight, man. A lot of you guys probably know who he is. If you don't, man, that's my brother, Afakasi Raider from down under, man. What up, Afakasi? What up, brother?
What's cracking, guys? Ben, Nate, chat, everyone. What's good?
What's good, bro?
I ain't gonna lie, I've been having a pretty shitty time of it, so I'm ready to talk some Raider football to take my mind off things. Let's get to it.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to hear, bro. Let's get this shit going. Let's go.
That's what we're here for, man. We are a Raiders therapy session, goddammit. Yeah. Sometimes you might be having a shitty day. You come hang out with RaiderBen and Nutty Raider on a Friday night. I guarantee you get a laugh out of this, goddammit. Anyways, Chad, what's going on, everybody? Yeah. Appreciate you guys for coming through, man. We got Bruce Willis in here, my dude. We got Anthony Provincia, Alfredo, Charm City. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys for pulling up tonight. Sacktown Raider Mike, my guy. We got Chunker in here, man. Fuck the Niners, Chunker. Fuck with you though, dog. Fuck the bitch ass Niners. Hey, you guys see Frank Warner broke one of the running backs for the Niners ribs today in practice. Where like tried to punch the ball out and broke his ribs, dude.
Yeah,
so,
they're
Niners are already falling Niners already falling apart in camp, bro. Shout out to CPG, man. My guy, always a pleasure to see you in the building, man. We got Willie Wayne in here, my dude. I'm not bueno in here, man. Hopefully you guys are all having a great day. But Crack Chucker, been a minute, man. Hopefully you guys are all having a good one. So, guys, let's start with Afakasi. You have any takeaways or anything that you want to talk about so far that's come out of camp that you've been keeping your eye
on? I guess maybe one of the things doesn't really necessarily have to do with camp. It's actually a little bit prior to camp. My guy Lucky Tasi, my fellow countryman, half Samoan, Australian, he was released. I don't know whether it was because he was homesick or because they're trying to make way for a possible play at Vita Vaya. Yeah, it sucks, but it's like I kept saying in the offseason, don't get hung up on these UDFAs or international player program guys because they're likely not going to see the regular season field, and he didn't. So once a Raider, always a Raider, but it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you called it. You called it, Afakasi.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about Lucky Tasi, I think like last month, and
so much hype about this guy, and it's like, well, we're going to be lucky to see him on the field during the regular season doing anything of note. And if he doesn't, don't be surprised. And I'm not. And it brings me no joy saying that because I have so much invested interest in him to succeed. But, it is what it is. Not many of these guys do anything. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of the international player program, did maybe they cut him to make way for Mensai Kana? What the name was the kicker's name? Mensai Kantazua or whatever. Isn't he part of the international player program too, since he's from Japan?
I don't know about the technicalities to that.
I'm just throwing that out there.
I don't get excited for none of these international player program players until they do something. Do something during the regular season, then I might get excited. Until then, just another one.
No, Lucky Tasi, bro, fan favorite. Switch from defensive tackle to offensive line last year, and then back to defensive tackle. They were going to try to give him a run this year. It just didn't work out, man. You have any thoughts on the whole Lucky Tasi situation, Nutty Raider Nate? And get your guys' questions, comments, and concerns in the chat, man. We'll get to you guys.
If he wasn't confused enough, we tend to do that to players. Even players that played before, and he had no experience with football. I'm pretty sure one of his issues was I'm just assuming that he wasn't getting the concept of don't move until the ball moves, until the other guy moves. He must have been jumping off sides or something, because to not make it not even to the first cuts is crazy. Like I feel like that's such a waste of raw talent, but just the way the cookie crumbles. Huh?
My criticism of Lucky, it's not even criticism of him. Like, he's trying to do the best he can. I get that. All I'm saying is that, like, with these international player program players, I think the percentage is less than 5% of them even see the field during the regular season, if that. And then for them to do anything significant is even lower. So that's all I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I think they... Go ahead, Nate. Sorry.
No, not all of them are 6'6", 375 either.
Well, just because you're the tallest, just because you're the strongest, just because you're the fastest, it doesn't necessarily translate to football.
Yeah, he can't get the
concept. We should know that. We should know that. Damn it, how many dudes we drafted that were strong, fast, and tall? That was never amounted to shit. What up with you, Raiders Unleashed? What up with you, bro? All right, guys. So let's start with, we're going to go position by position, and we're going to talk about things that I've heard from camp so far coming out. So first position we're going to talk about is quarterbacks. So far, guys, today, from what I heard coming out of camp, is Kirk Cousins was absolutely cooking with grease today. Wide receivers did struggle yesterday catching the ball. Trey Tucker had the best day of camp so far, they said. Kirk Cousins pretty much out there slinging it. Fernando Mendoza is getting better. There was some clips of him. The issue is still, again, from what I'm hearing, is they want to get him comfortable under center. You know what I mean? So Kirk Cousins, Willem and Dylan looks good. I'm not sure if you guys seen that thing where he tried to do sprints and he was running back and forth. He's obviously
terrible.
don't think any of us think he's going to be Lamar. But the point I'm trying to make is we're going to have to protect him. But if they do, there was some clips today where he was throwing some fucking dots, bro. So I'm excited for the quarterback room nonetheless. What's your thoughts, Afakasi, on the whole quarterback room so far? What up, Raider Dangerfield? I haven't heard too much about Aiden O'Connell neither, guys.
Like, you go with Nate first. I got to situate something. Give me a moment.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, you're good. Go ahead, Nutty Raider Nate.
Hold on. What happened?
What's your thoughts on the quarterback room and what we've heard from the quarterback so far coming out of the first few days of camp?
Man, they're still in shorts and shit, so I don't. The timing and the footwork is when the pocket collapses. So that's what I want to see. And even then, they're still not hitting the quarterback. So, well, I'm holding back my expectation for now. It's football's back, but
yeah, I guess just to build up on that. I mean, the video of Kirk Cousins and his mobility is, or lack thereof. I mean, that's a little bit of a concern if our offensive line hasn't taken a significant jump from last year. But I guess
what up, Jack?
If he can get the job done with his arm and do his thing, regardless of the fact of his lack of mobility, then whatever. But not a good look. But we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah, that video those sprints were terrible. I'm hoping we run the shit out the ball and he's.
Oh no, for sure. I feel like the Raiders are gonna run heavy this year, bro. It's gonna be a lot of heavy run and quick passes, bro. Like quick passes. I said I considered this year for the Raiders, bro, like those final couple years, how I feel like this is going to play out. I feel like it's going to play out those final couple years that Kansas City had Alex Smith and they were getting ready to transition from Patrick Mahomes. What up, John Leon? Because what were they doing, bro? Like they were just running the fuck out of the ball, dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk. They went to the playoffs one year, bro, where not one wide receiver caught a touchdown. It was only the tight end. So I feel like that's probably going to be the story of the Raiders this year. And then once we're ready to pass that torch on to Fernando Mendoza, hopefully at that point, one of these wide receivers will establish themselves. So no, but I feel like it's going to be a lot of the heavy on the run game, bro. Let's see what we got in the chat so far. So Raider Paul said, I heard Mendoza got the under center down. I haven't heard he's got the under center down. From what I've heard over the last couple of days is he's getting better. And that's all we can hope for, bro, we just want to see him continue to get better.
It looks good compared to fucking Cousins' old ass. I'll give him that.
I think the one thing about Mendoza, whether he sits, which is likely seems to be the case, is that like I think what's the most positive thing that we can at least be confident in, he's very coachable. You know what I mean? We shouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah. No, exactly, bro. Like
it should be
and he loves
situation.
To learn.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nate.
No, this should be the perfect situation. You're right, and he loves to learn.
I mean, the thing I like about Fernando, one of the main things I like about him, dude, is he embraces like adversity, bro. He embraces a challenge. He doesn't want nothing handed to him. You feel me? And I enjoy that a lot. You know what I mean? And like he said, bro, like Aiden O'Connell or Kirk Cousins didn't say this. You take it for what it's worth. But when he was the one that said the quarterbacks aren't competing against each other, they're competing with each other. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how the other quarterbacks think that way. I honestly think Kirk Cousins is trying to be the alpha in the room. But that just shows the overall humility of Fernando Mendoza. You know what I'm saying? He said on his press conference, what was it today? Was it today or yesterday, bro? Whatever, bro. His last press conference, he said, whatever, I want the best guy out there that gives the Raiders the best opportunity to win, bro. And that's humility at its fucking finest, bro. Like, of course he wants to be the starting quarterback, but he knows he's going to be probably the face of this franchise, bro. And as of right now, at this moment, if you ask him, he wants to put on the field, whoever gives the Raiders the best opportunity to win now, bro. You know, obviously he wants to win, but he's got humility, bro. And that's a lot of it, dog. So
another little thing that, I mean, take of it what you will. Did you see there was a little clip of the Bussin' with the Boys? Was it Tyler Lewan and former Raider Will Compton doing an interview with the whole quarterback room, and they seemed like a tight knit unit. You know what I mean? They were all there, sit together, like, you know, doing the interview together. Like, it doesn't seem like there's any, like, I mean, if there's competition, it's going to be healthy competition, but it's not like any animosity. It just seems like they're all kind of in it together for the betterment of our team, right? But that's something.
Yeah, and we're talking about like I wouldn't say 3 generations, but 3 different eras of quarterbacks, kind of in a way, because you have Kirk Cousins, who's been in the league for over a decade. You got Aiden O'Connell, who's been in the league for what 4 years now, 4 years. So, and then you got a rookie.
He's
so you
not
have
a rookie
like
anymore.
10 years. Exactly. So you got a 10-year vet. You got a seasoned pro that's been in the league for 4 years or whatever, and then you got the rookie. So I feel like that's perfect for Fernando. What up with you, Jeff? Because he's going to learn from 2 other quarterbacks, bro, that have seen the game and have had success at different parts of their career, whether it be a 10-year vet, a 4-year season pro. He's going to see all that through the eyes of a rookie, bro. And that's what's exciting about it. Yeah. So appreciate you guys for coming through the chat. Alfredo said, I did just see a comment from Alfredo. It was up here. No, it was down here. He was saying allegedly AOC was saying he wants to be the starter. Of course, he wants to be the starter, Alfredo. All these guys should go in with the mindset that I want to win the starting gig. This is agree with me if I'm wrong, or let me know if I'm wrong in the chat, guys. Agree with me or not, dog. This is the most competitive quarterback room that we've had in a long time.
Definitely, yeah.
In term, and obviously, we're just talking about like history. Like, obviously, Kirk Cousins done some shit. You feel me? AOC's done some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's better than going into with last year's quarterback room. What was it? Aiden O'Connell and Geno Smith and whoever the fuck else was in there. Appreciate you, guys. Appreciate you. Yeah, bro. Appreciate you, Jeff. Much love, though.
If Mendoza is really him, yeah, it's hands down. We're looking at the horizon.
So Jack Yates thinks Mendoza is going to start week 1 for show. Ern said Cousins looks like a senior citizen and Mendoza needs to grow into the role. I mean, it's going to take time, bro. Like I said, I don't think the Raiders are going to be very good this year. You guys know my outlook on the team. You feel me? Like, do I think we can surprise some people? Yeah, I feel like we can surprise some people, dog. But am I expecting to surprise people? Fuck no, bro. We're the fucking Raiders, dog. We ain't getting lucky, bro. We ain't surprising shit. You feel me? Even if we were like low key decent, like I feel like somebody would snitch on them. Hey, bro, the Raiders are gonna be good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't getting lucky, bro. That's the point I'm trying to make, gang. We ain't getting lucky at all. Anthony Brizio said at this point, Cousins is worse than AOC in the pocket. How do you guys agree with that?
It could be that bad, bro. He looked bad. He can't. He can barely squat. You got to be able to bend and duck and dive and dodge. You know the 5 Ds, bro. And he
dive, dodge, duck, dip, dodge.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
It was his dodgeball.
Yeah. But he looked like he could barely walk like squat out there. So maybe he's just knocking off the rust. Maybe he's just keeping it cautious. Hopefully, I don't know. It doesn't look good.
I'll tell you what, if his arm is as bad as my ability, then it's not going to look good at all.
He's shot.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a 37-year-old quarterback that's 2 years removed from an Achilles injury. Like, that's a terrible injury to have, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially for a quarterback. And then last year, suffered from a really bad shoulder injury that pretty much kept him out for the majority of the year until the end of the year when he finally got healthy, and then Michael Penix went down. So, I hate to say that the writing is on the wall for Kirk Cousins, but it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, guys, I think all of us on the panel will agree. Whoever gives the Raiders the best chance to win in 2026 is who we want, bro. You feel me? Like, I don't have no personal bias towards none of these quarterbacks. Because if you guys remember, at first, I didn't want Fernando, bro. I was like, bro, I'm good. I don't think he's worth the number 1 overall pick. But then I had to buy in, bro, because I knew the Raiders were going to take him. I'm bought in now. You feel me? Like, they've completely sold me. So that's where we stand now. So Jack Yates said Mendoza, so he said he's the best quarterback and he's going to win the job. Like I said, man, time will tell. I do like how, Klint Kubiak said in the presser when asked about, he liked it. We know they know that Klint Kubiak wants to start the veteran and let the rookie learn. Klint came out and said, you feel me, may the best man win pretty much. Obviously Kirk Cousins done a lot of good things in this league so far, so he's going to get the start day 1, but he expects Aiden O'Connell and Fernando Mendoza to push him. And I believe they will, bro. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel. Nutty Raider, Nate Afakasi Raider. If you're drafted number 1 overall, wouldn't you expect somebody that has the talent to be drafted #1 overall to beat out a 37-year-old aging quarterback that has a blown Achilles and a bad shoulder? I mean,
it's destiny.
That's what I'm saying, right? I'm not saying he's going to, but the writing should be on the wall. I mean, this dude's a #1 overall pick for a reason, bro. This dude should be a stud. But
that's fair. That's fair.
Like I said, at the end of the day, guys, I think whoever is the best man out there on the field in practice is going to win. I think Quay Walker was talking about Max Crosby, and he was talking the thing that makes Max Crosby so good is, you know, he practices so hard and he practices the way he plays. And, you know, I think that's going to play an extremely huge role in who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Raiders in 2026 is which one of these guys just absolutely goes out there and dominates in practice. I had people telling me that it don't matter how good he plays in practice or how good he plays in preseason. He's not going to start. Well, Klint Kubiak said otherwise. You know what I'm saying? He said whoever goes out there and performs the best players get on the football field regardless. So
could be 2014 all over again. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're good, Afakasi. And I've made this comparison before. People were like, Matt Schaub was injured. Me personally, I was so far long ago, I don't remember hearing a Matt Schaub injury in camp and shit. But Derek Carr was drafted and was supposed to be the backup and completely dominated training camp, dominated the preseason, and beat out Matt Schaub. And I see a very similar situation.
Wasn't even close.
So I feel like there's a very similar scenario going to happen this year, except that it should be a given because we drafted a quarterback #1 overall. Let me ask you guys, did you guys have any expectations for Derek Carr, like that he was going to be our franchise leader in pass yards and all this shit when we drafted him in the second round? I know I didn't.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Fernando Mendoza's coming with expectations, so it's a little bit different. You feel me? But at the end of the day, I think the kid is going to have a real chance to win, bro. He's got what it takes here, bro. And like I've said before, bro, football is like 99% mental and 1% physical, bro. He's got it here. Mendoza's just got to get used to the under the center shit, bro, because taking the snap and getting back in your drop without turning the ball over, bro, is most of the game. You know, on offense, bro, you got to at least be able to take the snap, and something he's not comfortable with. So
at the end of the day, I'm all for what's best long term. I don't want to look short term. I'm long term. Like I want us good, not just for the minute, but for the betterment for our future and beyond that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. And that's why I've said before, bro, are we gonna continue to put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound, or are we gonna go to the surgery table and get that bullet removed? You feel me? And I feel like, are the Raiders finally gonna get that bullet removed? You feel me? Because we've been trying to kick the can down the road and fill up stab wounds with super glue, dude, for like the last 25 years, and that shit just hasn't worked anymore, bro. So
quick fix.
To that analogy, so you know, post-surgery takes time to fully heal.
Bro, that's what I'm trying to say, bro. I know Raider fans don't want us to hear patience, bro. A lot of Raider fans don't. But coming from a Raider fan
don't
like
the
me,
word. I don't like the word either,
right.
But here we are, you know, like 25 years later, like from the last time we had any relevant success, substantial, you know,
change,
significant success. Like, what's another year, right?
See, this is my whole mindset, bro. And shout out to Dirty, man. He's going through some shit, man. So shout out to him, bro. We keep you in our prayers, bro. Hopefully we'll get you back soon. But he was, I forget where I was going with that, bro. Sometime this week just be hitting. Yeah, forget. What the hell was I just talking about before I was giving Dirty a shout out? Forget, bro.
Something he said, I guess.
I don't know. It's kind of ringing a bell because he said something the other day that kind of resonated with me too. You'll probably remember and say it, and I'll be like, "That's it."
Yeah, it'll come back to me, bro. Let's see. Competing to be the top of the trash heap. Damn, Ern, that sucks, bro. He says the quarterback room is garbage. I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know if I'm going to go as far as calling the quarterback room trash or garbage. I think there's talent there for sure. I don't know, you know, in terms of how it's going to look on the film or on the field. But right now, bro, there's some talent in that room. I want to get into a call because I did forget about the voicemail. I have a couple voicemails I want to play real quick. So if you guys haven't called into the show, you guys can call in and leave a voicemail to be played live during the Just Win Baby podcast. Go ahead, bro.
I will say this though. I am a little concerned about we're fucking with JPJ again. And he's rotating in and out of practice with the ones. a lot. I'm hearing. It's just
No, it's all right. She's all right.
either he's playing bad or Rodgers is playing good. I'm hoping.
What up, Khalil?
I don't know, bro. I don't like it. Fucking with him again.
What up, Josh Parcher? How's Kinsai doing? Kinsai is playing well, bro. He's playing well. He's definitely going to have a chance to compete with Matt Gay because Matt Gay wasn't very good last year. So, give me a second. Let me see if I can find an overlay because I want to share the screen. Let me see if I can find an overlay real quick. I got a bunch of bench.
But to like bring Spencer Buford over.
Okay, yeah, that'll work.
To bring Buford over here and give JPJ the job flat or make JPJ compete for it is crazy.
You said who was competing with him? You said Carlos Rogers?
Caleb Rogers. I think
Caleb
they're going
Rogers.
in and out. For
I always get that name mixed up, bro. Fuck.
For that right guard spot, yeah.
You remember Carlos Rogers, the corner?
Yeah, Carlos Rogers, the corner from San Francisco.
It's happened
from San Francisco.
Yeah.
All right, here, let me get a graphic up because I'm going to pull up my call-in show and I want to make sure that I don't want to dox nobody's phone number. So let me see. Make sure I put this overlay up real quick. And then we're going to play some voicemails. So we get the overlay up, add file.
Why are you doing that, Nate? Nate, you look like the Terminator with that red light in your sunglasses.
All right, here's the overlay. Is it going to cover the whole screen? Okay, that works right there. All right, guys, so we're going to get into, I got 2 voicemails that are on the line right now, man. So if you guys want to call in, you feel me? This is a segment on the show. You guys can call in and get your voices heard on the Just Win Baby podcast, man. The call-in line's right there on the screen. Call in and leave a voicemail. This doesn't go to my phone. This goes straight to a voicemail unless I do a call-in show, so feel free to call in. So we're going to add this to the stage. We've got a couple voicemails. So we got this one right here.
Yo, Ben, this is Rudy.
You hear that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, for Shelly. We got a
Rudy.
voicemail. I think this is the is the homie Rulis. I think this is Rulis.
Oh.
Yo, Ben, this is Rulis calling from El Paso. Just gonna say Raiders. We'll see you, brother. Bye.
Hell yeah. Shout out to my bro, Rulis, in the building, calling in, leaving a voicemail in. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Rulis, man. Get your calls in, get your voicemails in, and get played live on the show. Raiders. We got another call in. I think this one's Rafa, El Capitan, or Rafucho.
Rafucho, ¿cómo está?
Hey, what's going on, Banter? This is Ralph. Rafucho here. So I just wanted to tell you, salute to everybody else. And I just wanted to tell you just one simple thing. Raiders need to improve this season because there's not going to be the same bullshit coming up there for the offense and defense because this year, we better get ready right now. So I just wanted to tell you, Raider Nation for life, salute to y'all. Ralph, Capitano Fucho. No more same bullshit about for the last season because this season is going up. It's going on right now because this right here, they knows everything. All right, so salute to y'all.
Shout out to
Rafa, the Chiefs. Fuck the Chiefs.
Fuck the Chiefs. You son of a bitch. My boy Rafa, man, calling into the voicemail line. My boy has it in his name and in the chat. He said Raiders. Shit. What up, gang? All right, guys. Somebody literally just called in right now and left a voicemail. So who we got on this one?
Hey, yo, Ben, this is Ern. I just want to let you know about this upcoming season this year, bro. These motherfuckers suck, bro. This be the same old shit. Don't get your fucking hopes up.
Pleasure,
Ben, this is Ern. I just want to let you know about this upcoming season this year, bro. These motherfuckers suck, bro. This be the same old shit. Don't get your fucking hopes up.
Hey, type shit. I ain't mad at it, bro.
California rain cloud. Let's go.
My brother, man. Ern, bro. Appreciate you for calling in. We go ahead and pull the overlay down. We had a couple calls. Appreciate Ralph for calling in. Shout out to Rulis for calling in and leaving a voicemail. Shout out to the homie Earn. All right, guys. So the next position group we're going to talk about is the running back group. I'm going to start this one with Nate. Nate, have you heard anything? Or what have you heard so far coming out of camp about the running back room, or what do you like about it so far?
Ashton Genty, I'm hearing a lot of good stuff. He's looking fit. I guess more cut of year 2. I guess he looks like a pro. Let's see it. Let's see though. Washington, I'm hearing is looking pretty good. I'm hearing Lobby might be falling back a little bit. Hemby is stepping up.
What up?
We cut a running back today, actually.
Chris Coley.
Chris Collier. Yep.
Chris Collier. And we signed some tight end.
Cunts. Taylor Cunts or some shit.
I wonder if that's somebody's not doing their job or losing their job with the tight end spot over there. But
or is there a trade about to happen? Michael Mayer involved in a trade or something?
Yeah, that could be another. They're loading up. Something's going on, right? Moving some pieces. I mean, it's for me. It's going to be about the O line. if the running back's going to be successful this year, I mean, he almost got 1,000 last year, but with a terrible O line, which was amazing. But now that they have film on him and they kind of know what he likes to do and his tendencies and some of his tails, so to speak, they're going to be on his ass. They're going to know we're going to run the ball too. So hopefully we scheme some good shit up and our O line's blocking out there. But yeah.
No, so from what I'm hearing, bro, is Mike Washington's looking real good out there, bro. He's been getting a lot of run. They said that the explosiveness is there. If you guys looked at Mike Washington RAS score, which it stands for the relative athletic score, pretty much just rates your overall athleticism against multiple players have come into the draft over multiple years, and they had Mike Washington as one of like the top 10 percentile or top 5 percentile of running backs that have been athletic wise that have come out of the NFL or out of the draft in like the last 20 years. So he's super fast. They said you could see it on the field. The explosiveness is there. And like I said, man, I think he's just going to be the ultimate perfect 1-2 punch for Genty, because Genty's the smaller back, 5'8", 5'9". But Genty's swole this year, boys. Have you seen him at that camp, bro? He's swole. And I don't know exactly verbatim what he's just said, but he just said like he's coming to kill people that are in front of him. And if you're in his way, he feels bad for you or something like that. In those words, Ashton Genty cut out all sugar out of his diet. He said it was to increase his cardio. But anyways, like I was saying, Genty, the smaller back, 5'8", 5'9", and Mike Washington's that big back. I think he's like 6'1", 6'2", or something like that, and can truly run. His body shape looks a lot like Darren McFadden. The way he runs is a lot like Darren McFadden, and he's coming out of the same college. Yeah, that part, because definitely Darren McFadden had them chicken legs, bro. Yeah. Anyways, that's my thoughts on it. You have any thoughts on the running back room and what you've been hearing off Afakasi? Or expectations?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's good to hear the new, the happenings about like Genty and Mike Washington. That is what you expect from these guys being our draft pick investments.
What up, money, Mike?
1 and Washington, we just drafted in round 3. I'm excited to see what those two do. The interesting competition in preseason is going to be the other guys, the likes of Roman Hemby and what seems to be a very motivated Dylan Lobby. He knows he's on the hot seat, and he needs to really stamp his authority, so to say, to make the roster somehow, some way. So that's going to be my point of interest, but in the preseason specifically. But come the regular season, Genty, I want him to do what we drafted him to do. You need to be one of the premier running backs in the league, either by this year or next year. And when Washington gets his chance, make good on those chances. You don't have to be the guy, but just be that compliment guy and make the most of it. And let's go.
And shout out to John Leon. He's bringing up Zamir White. We can't compare Zamir White to Ashton Genty, though, bro. You know, I hear what you're saying. I get it. He was hella swole, bro, but he didn't have no vision, dog. And he was trying to piggyback on all of his offensive linemen to try to get any yardage. You know, and there was some running lanes there when Zamir White was here, and there was nothing last year. And Ashton Genty was making fucking gold out of shit with that offensive line. I mean, he took like over 50+% of his snaps behind the line of scrimmage or at the point of attack, bro. Like as soon as he got the ball, and still was able to put up almost 1,000 rush yards. Just imagine if the Raiders could just get like a cut hair of like space. And like I said, man, you feel me? Some of you guys have different visions of cut hair. Some of you guys like newer kids, you guys don't like that shit. Some of you guys 1980s porn stars like them old long ass cut hairs, but just a cut hair, just a sliver of space. You feel me? And I think he's gonna be all right, bro. I have a lot of expectations for Ashton Genty, bro, especially with, you know, we got a really good offensive line coach, bro. That offensive line coach we got, Rick Dennison, he's a monster, bro. He's multiple Super Bowl winning offensive line coach. You know, I think these guys are going to have a chance to really do something this year. So I'm excited for it, bro. You know, and then shout out to Afakasi for bringing up Dylan Labe. Yeah, I had heard Dylan Labe has been doing a little bit, bro. I guess he looks better this year than he has, and you know,
seems motivated. You know, he's on the hot seat.
Exactly.
You know, this is year 3 for Lobby. You either show out in preseason or ship out. You can go.
Yeah, because I'm sure he knows Roman Himby, bro, is right behind him, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Roman Himby, because Roman Himby's a solid back, bro, and you know, I think the only advantage that Labe's got on Himby right now, in my opinion, is probably the special teams, because Labe can play a little bit of special teams and can tackle a little bit. We haven't really seen Himby do that, but we'll know come Tuesday, man. So if you guys don't know, Tuesday pads come on. I am off on Tuesday, so I'm off on Tuesday, so I'll definitely be doing a live stream. I might do a daytime live stream after practice, and then I might do a later live stream with Nutty Raider Nate when he gets home from work. But yeah, so pads come on Tuesday. And I think that's where we'll really see, you know, where this team is at right now. Because I think who said it, bro? It was one of these guys, bro. I think it was Ashton Genty said it, bro. He said from what he's seen so far out of Klint, Kubiak, and the way he coaches teams, bro, that the Raiders are going to be one of the most physical teams in the league. So I'm excited for that, you know, because that's one thing. What up, Cool Kev? I think that's one thing the Raiders have lacked for, you know, many years. We've gotten away from, what up, SoCal Sal? We've gotten away from what's made the Raiders, bro, and that's the physical side of the game, you know. And I don't mean playing dirty, just letting people know, bro, we're the fucking Raiders, bro. If we don't lose the game, we want you to feel it tomorrow. You feel me? And we haven't played like that in a long time. So excited for that. You know, I'm excited for, you know, to see which one of these guys stand out in pads, bro. There's going to be a lot of guys out there. They're going to have a shot to make this roster. And this roster lacks depth. So
just before we move, if I can just say one last thing on Lobby, like, you know, this is Lobby's 3rd year. You know what I mean? Like, if he cannot make the roster, then quite frankly, like, it's like I said, you either show out or ship out. Like, I don't want no more practice squad spots. You know what I mean? Like, if you cannot do the bare minimum and earn a depth piece spot, like as a number 3, number 4 running back, then quite frankly, you can go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
So before we move on, Anthony Vincio's got a question for you, Afakasi. He said, yo, Afakasi, how'd you become a Raiders fan from down under?
I've answered this question quite a few times in my life. I'm surprised you haven't heard it. But look, I'll try and make it short and sweet. Basically, I became a fan full-time of the Raiders. 2009, my first game watching the Raiders was the home opener, Monday Night Football versus the Chargers, when we played them at home. And just seeing the scenes of the Coliseum rocking and shit, and the way we played that night defensively, we were punching them in the mouth early on. And that's when I knew in my heart, I was like, yep, that's it. That's the one. And I've been a diehard Raider ever since.
And we appreciate being a Raider, Afakasi, goddammit. We wouldn't have it any other way. I'm gonna write that out. Hey, shout out to the chat, bro. We got 30 people in here. Double tap the screen, hit the like button, whether you're on my channel or Nutty Raider Nate's channel in the loaded box or in the lounge, bro. We appreciate all your guys' time, as always, for coming by the stream and showing some love. Like
Don't
I
tap
said,
that screen, hit the like.
I've been doing live streams every single day covering the Raiders. I'm going to continue to cover the Raiders every single day. As long as the Raiders give me something to talk about, I'm on here every single day as I have been. And it's content, man. Football season's here. Benther's here. The squad's here. Shout out to Dirty Man. Hopefully we'll have him back. And then shout out to Cool Kev right here too. And shout out to All Eyes, man. Love you, All Eyes.
Yeah, All Eyes, man.
Here,
Stay strong, brother.
Gee.
We're here for you, my boy. For sure. My boy. One of our day ones, bro. One of our day one supporters, bro. Shout out to All Eyes. All right, gang. So let's move on to the next position group. Shout out to the chat, man.
No,
We
I'm not.
appreciate you guys. We got the tight end group. So I'm gonna save my fucking soapbox for the end. Afakasi, what have you heard, if anything, coming out of camp about the tight end group, your overall expectations for the tight end group in training camp and the preseason and in overall with this offense?
Honestly, I haven't heard too much of anything about the tight end group, I'm gonna be honest, except for the move that we signed that guy once we cut Chris Collier. Whether or not that means we're trying to make a move with the piece we got, more specifically, I'm looking at Michael Mayer. I don't know, time will tell, but you know, the expectation is there. Like Brock Bowers, if he just keeps doing his thing, we're going to be in a good place there. If we keep Michael Mayer in the last year of his rookie contract and he does what he does when he's on the field, you know what I mean? And we can get production out of him, the production that you expect from a guy that you drafted in the second round. You know, when he gets his chance, then cool. And then if whoever else earns that third piece, third depth spot, whether it be was it Michael Thomas? What's the name of that?
Ian
Thomas.
Ian Thomas. That's it. Ian Thomas, Justin Shorter, a guy I like, or this new guy. It is whatever with me, but you know, Brock Bowers, we're in a good place with him. Just stay healthy. There's no reason why he should trend downwards unless it's the quarterback play or injury. But yeah, I guess it's going to be interesting to see Michael Mayer. What do we get out of the last year of his rookie deal if we keep him around? Because whatever way it goes with him, I don't see him being a part of our roster next year. Like if he balls out because he gets more opportunity, he's going to want to go elsewhere because we've got Brock Bowers. And if he doesn't ball out, then why the hell are we going to sign him back? So if we can move on from him, if he can be part of a trade deal, then I'm all for it.
So we got a little clip. Speaking of tight ends, bro, we got a little clip that came out of camp today from the Raiders, bro. That's Captain Kirk O'Chains. You know what I'm saying? And since we're talking tight ends, you can guess who he's about to throw this motherfucker to. Rocky B fucking pissed. He's got some zip on that ball still, boy.
Who got dotted? Who is it?
That's Hezekiah. We're gonna talk about the corners later, but
he was on him. You can't cover Bowers any better.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's why I was gonna save it for later. But yeah, bro, that was Hezekiah on Brock Bowers, and he played him extremely well. And that's the point I was saying, bro. Kirk Cousins put that in a position where only Brock Bowers was gonna catch that football. And that's one thing you love about Brock Bowers, dude. Just when he catches the ball, it's a pure receiver's mindset. He's all hands. He's not looking to jump and do some crazy shit with his body. It's just, just give it to me. You feel me? And yeah, bro, Brock Bowers is going to be crazy, bro, this year. I think Brock Bowers is going to, I'm not going to say he's going to put up 2,000 receiving yards and be JSN, but I think, you know, that 1,400 yard season that Travis Kelce put up a few years ago, I think that record is up for grabs for Brock Bowers this year. I really think Brock Bowers is going to hit around 1,500 yards. I think he'll play that JSN role a lot as he plays a lot of the slot wide receiver role. Anyways, Nutty Raider Nate, if I get on my soapbox, what's your overall thoughts on the tight end group so far?
No, go ahead, bro. I mean, not that much to say. Bowers is a man. Fucking trade Mayer. Yeah, and it's just run. Everybody else is there to block, pretty much help the run game, and maybe be a threat in the red zone.
I forget who else said this, bro, but I had said this as well, and some of you guys disagreed with me, bro. Let me know if you guys still agree with, you guys still disagree, bro. I want to know. So, as much as people love the 12 personnel, right, with the two tight ends, I think the Raiders can run a 12 personnel without being the traditional, single back 12 personnel. What I mean by that is I think the best, because we don't have a number one receiver or your prototypical X receiver, and I think Trey Tucker and Jalen Naylor are probably going to be your outside receivers if I'm just coming off the dome right now. I think the best way to utilize the Raiders 12 personnel, bro, is if they're in shotgun, this is if they're in shotgun, or even if they're in single back with the slot wide receiver, bro. I think you run Michael Mayer as your typical inline tight end. You put Brock Bowers in the slot, and whoever wins on the outside, whether it's Jack Best, Jalen Naylor, or Trey Tucker, you let those dudes battle, bro. Because then you can get all your best playmakers on the field at the same time. And Brock Bowers, even last year, his last couple of years in the league, Brock Bowers hasn't played a lot in line as your traditional tight end. He's been playing a lot of slot as a wide receiver, even in the NFL. So that's why I'm saying, bro, if they're going to just continue to play him like that, then just play Brock Bowers as your slot wide receiver and let your speed guys play on the outside. Give Jack Best a chance to maybe compete for some playing time with Jalen Naylor or Trey Tucker, because Jack Best can't move, bro. If they're going to bring him in the slot, he's just going to bring in a run block, bro. I'm not going to sit here and beat up Jack Best too much. I'll save that for the wide receivers. He sucks.
And he wasn't that good of a blocker either last year. I don't know.
I don't have a lot of hype at all for Jack Best, bro. That was the one draft. A lot of draft picks I scratched my head at, bro. In that draft, bro. But Jack Best was probably the number one pick. I was like, huh?
Bro.
Like, bro, what the fuck? Who?
Pete Carroll or not, bro? It's Spy Tech.
Yeah, I know. We can sit here and break down all of his draft picks. I mean, he's had a bunch of, questionable draft picks over the years. So John Leon says trade Michael Mayer, and move Best to tight end. I don't know, bro. I don't know if he can really play your prototypical tight end in the National Football League, though, like at a starter clip. I mean, I guess he wouldn't be a starter because he's behind Brock. I don't know, bro. But at the end of the day, I love how Afakasi did bring up. I don't think Michael Mayer is going to be here next year neither, bro. This is the final year of his contract anyways.
What scenario? What scenario can you see Michael Mayer coming back? If he succeeds and he balls out, he's going to want to go somewhere else because he's not going to get those number one opportunities because we got Brock Bowers here. And if he doesn't, then, yeah, like I said, I mean, unless back next year.
Unless he just comes in and just takes like a fucking significant fucking like Raider home discount or something. No, I don't think there's a world where he.
But why would he want to? He would want to go somewhere else and get his opportunities. There's no world where I see him on our roster next year. That's why I'm all for let's trade him if there's value.
So I could see maybe this is, say the Raiders have a good year this year. Say the Raiders surprise people, dude. And the Raiders, make the playoffs this year. You know what I'm saying? On some crazy shit, and we get one and done or whatever in the wild card or whatever, right? I could see a world where, and say Michael Mayer has a good year. I could see a world where Michael Mayer might take a little bit of a cheap deal if he sees that the Raiders are on the up and up. But if the Raiders have a bad year and he has a good season, yeah, I don't see him staying. But, if the Raiders come out and have a good year and surprise some people, I mean, I think there's a world where he could stay, but at the same time, I don't think the Raiders are going to have that kind of year to where a player is going to want to not take the biggest bag he can to stay with us.
If he balls out, then this is going to be his best and maybe only opportunity to get that bread. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he's gone.
I'm with you. Yeah, I agree. And shout out to Nutty Raider because he mentioned the Vita Vea trade. And I think if there's a world where, I'm not sure who their tight end is, bro, but I don't think they got any tight end over there that's like a pure starting caliber tight end. I think Michael Mayer can be that. I mean, do they want a tight end? They're talking about two guys they're going to have to pay. I mean, we have to pay Vea. They're going to have to pay Michael Mayer. They can save a little bit of money with Michael Mayer. Maybe throw like a 3rd round pick in there or something. You feel me? Maybe a 4th round pick with Michael Mayer and see if they're
one of these DTs, that. Whatever.
Yeah. Something.
I'd send Darian Porter. Fuck it.
Porter, Mayer, and either Hemingway or Big East.
Yeah.
And another draft pick, whatever. Cool.
Dude, Darian Porter played good last year, bro. Why are you on him for it? Oh, Jesus Christ.
If we can package him, if we have to package him up for Vita Vea, so be it.
Yeah.
If it's for Vita Vea, I could see it, bro. I could see it, bro. But I mean, a lot of people, bro. Stats showed that. I'll say that for the cornerback room. Anyways, guys, let's move on to the next. Let's move on to the next position group, wide receivers. So wide receivers, we talked about earlier, bro. The wide receivers have not looked good at all so far in camp through the first couple of days. Wide receivers finally had their good day today, and that was mainly Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker looked really good today, they said. The Raiders worked on a lot of red zone drills today, as that pass you saw to Brock Bowers was in the red zone. The Raiders looked really good in the red zone today. Trey Tucker caught a touchdown pass in the red zone, and I think Brock Bowers caught like 2 of them. So, the wide receiver room, a little underwhelming. I think a lot of us kind of expected that, unfortunately. But, yesterday, I guess the Raiders dropped a lot of passes from what they were saying. The reports saying the Raiders, there was a concentration issue. They were dropping a lot of passes today. They cleaned it up a little bit, but they said it was mainly, Trey Tucker who stood out the most. So, your guys' overall, let's start with Nutty, Ray, or Nate, bro. What's your thoughts on the wide receivers? Obviously struggling a little bit early.
Yeah, it's this offense hopefully is going to run through the tight end. So I'm not worried. I don't. Yeah. No comment. Trey Tucker dropped a screen already pass, and Jack Besh is
not here. I haven't heard a peep of him, dude. I haven't heard a peep of Jack Besh, bro.
Yeah.
I heard Malik Benson is still out there cooking, though, chat.
Yeah.
They did say Malik Benson still looks really, really good, bro.
What's up with Naylor?
Benson, bro. I haven't heard any. I mean, I haven't seen any clips of him. I've only seen him like catching little passes, like in like just solo drills. I haven't seen him like do anything to where it was like 7-on-7 yet. The only people that I've seen clips doing shit on 7-on-7, bro, is fucking Brock Bowers. That's the only ones they posted 7-on-7. It's eating right now is Brock.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard, bro. A lot of us, I think a lot of us understood that though, bro. Like with this wide receiver room, bro. We got to get up out the mud, bro. You feel me?
Run the rock past the Brock. That's just what it's gonna be.
I like that,
bro. And we're talking about one of the best 1-2 punches, in my opinion, to have, bro, is a running back and a tight end, bro. Because for the most part, bro, when a run is gonna go a certain way, typically they want to run it towards wherever the tight end's at, right? So the reason why a tight end and a running back duo is, in my opinion, the best, because if you start running the fucking ball and towards that tight end, right, the defense is going to start selling in because they know you're going to run the ball. And that's when them seam routes are just nasty. There's nothing like a seam route by a tight end, especially a tight end like Brock Bowers has got true speed to run. Because as soon as they sell in because they think Brock is going to go try to block somebody, dude, he's just going to run right past their dumbass, dude. Right past them. And it's going to be nasty. Like, I heard some people say they'd rather have a number 1 wide receiver. I mean, I could kind of get that. I prefer a tight end, because a quarterback 9 times out of 10 in his line of vision, he's going to see that tight end before he can see that wide receiver, bro, because he's going to be closer to the line. He's going to be more in his peripheral. Quarterbacks kind of have to go find wide receivers, bro. They got to go through reads and shit, bro. Quarterback snaps the ball. That fucking tight end is like right here, bro. So he's going to know right off the rip if he's open or not, compared to having to go through his reads or just chunk it up to somebody, and like a Jamar Chase or something. You feel me? Shout out to Xavier. Yeah, Kirk did throw 4 touchdowns. He threw a couple of them to Brock Bowers, for sure, but I don't know all of them. But no, Kirk did look good today. We talked about that earlier. Anyways, Afakasi, wide receiver room.
Yeah, look, I'm not too sold on this wide receiver core, to say the least. I like what Nate said. Run the rock, pass the Brock. Those are our first 2 options, absolutely. At the same time, we still need production and contribution from our wide receivers. You're going to at least get that from Trey Tucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like what Trey Tucker does. I just don't believe he's more than that. I don't believe he's a number 1, but I like him in spots. I like what he does when he gets the ball in space. But to be the guy that we can rely on the outside as a bona fide number 1 or even a number 2, I'm not quite sold on. But, I like what he does outside of that. It's pleasing to hear the hype around Malik Benson. Was he 6th rounder or 7th round guy?
6th round. Yeah.
Whatever it may be, he's getting a little bit of traction, which is nice to hear. But at the same time, we heard that same song and dance about Thornton last year. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
Naylor, see what he does. There's expectation with him as well, but I'm right there with you, Ben. I'm going to be highly critical and paying attention to the likes of Besh and Thornton. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are two cats we drafted last year. And look, rookies, you have some growing pains. We weren't too great at the quarterback position, whatever it may be, but we really need one, if not both of those two guys. Sorry, you good?
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you could hear that, bro. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could hear that. I thought that was in the backstage. Sorry, dude.
No, that's all good. So we need one, at least one of those guys to step up and make a progressive step to being a guy that we can rely on the outside and that can contribute and produce. Because if neither of those guys step their game up this year and it's more of the same, then I'm all for drafting a wide receiver very high next year. And you know what? Like, say la vie with these other two cats. Like, I'm not impressed. I'm not sold. I want them to step up. Otherwise, they can ship out next year. I don't give a shit.
No, for sure. It's a good take. And shout out to John Leon, bro. He said, look at Mahomes and Kelsey. How many receivers did they go through? Same with Tom Brady and his tight end. So I get where you're going with this, John. Listen, I'm a firm believer of wide receivers don't make quarterbacks, dude. It's the other way around. How many wide receivers did Derek Carr get paid? How many pure number one wide receivers did Derek Carr ever have? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many pure number one wide receivers did Tom Brady ever have outside of maybe Randy Moss? You know what I'm saying? How many pure number one wide receivers has Patrick Mahomes had outside of maybe Tyreek Hill in his prime? The point I'm trying to make is, bros, if you've got a legitimate quarterback and a good scheme, you can make any wide receiver look good, bro. You truly can, bro. Like, the only elite quarterback I seen growing up that really had like elite wide receivers was Peyton Manning, bro. He had elite wide receivers from Marvin Harrison to he had the other motherfucker, bro. They had a bunch of superstar wide receivers in Indianapolis his entire career. But no, I hear what you're saying, bro. I mean, it's not the wide receivers that make the quarterback. It's the other way around, bro. So that clip that I was listening to that I didn't know was in the backstage was actually a clip that I wanted to show. We got a Jalen Naylor appearance. It looks like Kirk Cousins to Jalen Naylor. You know, the crazy thing is that motherfuckers was like, they was doing that whole 6-7 shit. Well, they can do that 6-7 shit, bro, because the Raiders got 8-9 with Kirk Cousins and Jalen Naylor for a touchdown. There it is. Jalen Naylor. So there's a touchdown, dude. Not exactly sure who he's working on right there, but there's one of the other touchdowns he threw today. So now Kirk Cousins looking good, bro. Jalen Naylor, I think it's gonna be like a soft approach. They're gonna have to get him into the offense slowly, as all these guys, bro, because they're all new players. Shout out to Hobbit, bro. He said Raider. What up with you, Xavier? He said Klint Kubiak will scheme for the core. No, I doubt. I'm with you, bro. I definitely think Klint Kubiak's gonna be, you know, the heart and soul of what makes the Raiders move, bro, with his scheme. So shout out to 25 people that are still watching. If you haven't already, double tap the screen, whether you're watching in the Silver and Black Lounge with RaiderBen or you're in the loaded box with Nutty Raider Nate. Appreciate Afakasi for spending some time with us tonight, man. Last position group on offense we have to go over. I'll let Nutty Raider Nate start this one, is the offensive line.
Get him, Nutty.
Yeah.
Offensive line group, Nutty Raider Nate. Any thoughts on what you've heard so far? Any expectations and overall just thoughts on the offensive line? I know you said a little bit to JPJ earlier, bro, but go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just disappointed with the coaching staff in the NFL, most of them in the NFL, just because it feels like Oregon it's like, could they be that much better of a coaching staff that they figured out how to use JPJ and we can't do it? It's a head scratcher to me. Maybe he's uncoachable. I don't know. I'm just.
What are you hearing about JPJ? I mean, this is news to me.
He's sharing a lot of time with Caleb Rogers right now. He's not the solidified, or his position's not solidified for sure. And if anything, Spencer Bradford has been the more solidified guard on the other side. Which,
yeah, I hear that.
is a head scratcher because he was one of the worst guards last year, even in the system that he's good at supposedly. So it's just, and then it feels like they're making JPJ prove it again. I don't know. I don't like they're fucking with his confidence. I just think that's bad.
Well, I like JPJ too, but like, I mean, he should have, if he's as good as we think he is, he should have no problem like proving it, right? I expect him to be better than Caleb Rogers. To be honest and quite frank, and sorry to cut you off, Nate, if he cannot prove to be that, and if he cannot prove to be as good as we think he is and better than Burford or Rogers, then quite frankly, you deserve to be on the bench.
I think once the pads come on, the boys from the men get separated. So we'll find they'll find out soon enough that he's got the NFL strength and he just needs to be coached up, and we need good coaches. That hopefully Rico, the new O-line coach, can get the best out of him. But I don't like the vibe I'm getting right now with how much time they're sharing. Because I don't think Caleb Rogers earned it at all. Not in my opinion, from what I saw.
JPJ should beat the brakes off of him in that spot.
Yeah, Caleb Rogers should be focused on that Spencer Bradford position.
I look at it like this, gang, since we're talking about JPJ, right? We've been saying like the last two regimes have him, they don't like him or something, bro. I'm starting to beg to differ. There's something that's giving them bad vibes that they don't want to play him. Rather it's the stupid comment he said about concussions and he don't take that shit seriously, or he has a history of concussions, or he's not in his playbook. Bro, I hear you, Nutty, Rare, Nate. We all love JPJ, bro, but if it's the same story with every organization, I can't sit here and keep saying he's getting put in the doghouse, bro. There's something he's doing that's wrong. There's something there that's wrong. He's giving every single coaching staff bad vibes, and in my opinion, he's a little bit immature, bro. And you go out there and look at the way he acts and shit, bro. He's a little bit immature. I love JPJ, and like you said, hopefully when the pads come on, the men are separated from the boys, and that's when he establishes who he is. But right now, I can't just sit here and keep saying it's this organization's fault and this organization's fault when every single organization feels that way about him. There's something going on there, bro. Something behind the scenes that we ain't hearing. At least that's my take on it.
Well, I love JPJ too, but it's just like I said, man. Like, you know, and it's the same thing I said about Lobby. I'll say about JPJ. This is year 3. You know, I mean, there was less expectation with Lobby. Granted, he's fighting for a depth spot, but JPJ, the expectation is by now, like we all think he should be starting and solidified that starting job, which it seemed he did in year 1 when he got his chance. But here we are, year 3. If he's still fighting for that job and he doesn't outplay either Burford or Rogers, who I'm not that sold on either, like then like what is he doing here? You know what I mean?
Hey, Spencer Bradford lost his job for whiffing blocks
Burford
whatever, over at the in SF Santa Clara. So we thought it was a good idea to pick him up, and then we're doing JPJ like this. I don't like it, guys. I'm just saying. I feel like we need better coaching. If he needs his own personal trainer, I don't know what it is, bro. We need some structure for sure. It's been a lot of change since he's been here. I think we've had a new system almost every year. So it's definitely lacking structure.
What I'm saying is that like we all feel the same. We all believe by now JPJ should be the best guard that we've got. You know what I'm saying? He should be better than those other guys.
Doubt.
Right. So go ahead and show it. And all I'm trying to say is that if you cannot show it by the end of training camp, then like, is he really as good as we think he is?
Once the pass come on,
I played your voicemail earlier, dude. Thanks for calling.
I gotta believe he's.
I believe he is. I do. But you gotta show it.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I feel like what's his name? Charles Rogers.
Caleb Rogers.
Oh, I can't say that motherfucking name.
Caleb Rogers.
Yeah, bro. Hey, gang. I feel like from what I've seen, if we're talking about JPJ compared to Caleb Rogers, bro, Caleb Rogers don't got that nasty streak, bro, that you need to have at guard. You know what I'm saying? I think JPJ has it. You know, I don't believe JPJ, in my opinion, if I'm just being honest, I probably wouldn't want him to be our center, bro, with, you know, the injury history he's had so far and, you know, the immaturity and obviously from what they've said, lack of trying to get the playbook down and shit like that from the center position. But I do like him at guard, bro, and I think putting him next to Tyler Linderbaum is gonna work wonders for him. But you know, at the end of the day, we just have to let it all play out, bro. You know, I like JPJ. We all like JPJ, but you know, it's, you know, time will tell. Time will.
What about right tackle? How you guys feeling about that?
I'm going to give DJ Glaze this last shot, bro. If he ain't good this year, I'm done with DJ Glaze.
We got nothing else. I don't think Charles Grant is built for the right tackle position. He's little, and he's I don't think he's that aggressive. He's more a finesse pass blocker, left tackle specialist. That's what they're going to try to mold him to be.
So one thing I did hear about offensive line is rookie Trey Zune's been playing primarily second team center. I know
center, yeah.
Tackle. He's been playing second team center.
Yeah.
So with Meredith. So
I like Zune, and I like what we have in Zune, and I believe that's what he's going to be at least year one. Is that guy who's a jack of all trades who can plug in anywhere, because it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. We're going to lose somebody on that offensive line. He's going to go down, whether it be for a bit of the game or for a few games. It's going to happen. Touch wood, it doesn't happen, but it's likely to happen. So, you know, at least we've got a guy who can play wherever. You know what I mean? Like, you need him in the center, he can play that. You play if he needs to play a tackle, he's proven that he could do that at the best level in college. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and guard as well. So I like what we have in Zoom.
So to talk a little bit about how Spencer, you guys are talking about Spencer Burford, bro, why we picked him up. I mean, who else are we going to play at guard right now? I mean, you guys want to put Jordan Meredith in there at guard? I mean, Spencer Burford, the reason why they picked him up is because he's a scheme fit. He ran the same exact running scheme. He's not good in the pass blocking. Like,
I like him because he's aggressive, and yeah, he's aggressive in the run.
Yeah, he's a hell of a zone blocker, bro. Yeah, so that's why we got him.
The ideal scenario for me would be Rodgers and JPJ are starting because they're good enough to start. You know what I mean? They're better than the other guys, and they're going to be productive as starters. That would be my ideal scenario. Having homegrown talent being starters, not by default, but because you're good enough to be that. You know what I'm saying? But if Burford is a seasoned veteran, a better scheme fit, and just a better option than either one of those two, then I guess whatever.
No, and I think that goes for all positions with us too, Afakasi. Like, we want the best man to win at every position, like especially the most controversial position right now, and that's the quarterback and who's going to start. May the best man win. You feel me? And I think the Raiders are going to have competition on the offensive line. I think that's probably going to be where the most competition for the starting roles are going to be, outside of maybe the corners, because obviously JPJ it's not given. Spencer Burford's not a given. I think there's only two spots right now on that offensive line that's a given, and that's going to be Colton Miller at left tackle and Linderbaum at center, and everybody else is going to have to earn it. Just like if we're talking about, you know, the cornerback room, the only person that's really locked in as a starter is Eric Stokes, and everybody else is battling. And so, yeah, man, it's going to be competition, and competition brings the best out of your team. Just like we got a lot of competition in the quarterback room, bro. You guys can sit here. We can sit here and say, you know, Aiden O'Connell's this or Aiden O'Connell's that, bro. But Aiden O'Connell's going to have a real chance to you know, have a chance to compete in this quarterback room, because if the Raiders really don't want to start Fernando and they want to let a rookie, they want to let a veteran start, I honestly think at 37 years old, I think Aiden O'Connell is even more mobile than Kirk Cousins, and probably may give the Raiders the best shot to win. But we'll see after, you know, training camp and preseason. You one thing that's gonna be cool about preseason, guys, is that we're gonna see fucking some solid quarterback play, bro. If whoever the quarterback is, bro, we're gonna have Fernando in there throwing the ball in the preseason. We're gonna have fucking Aiden O'Connell out there throwing the ball in the preseason. I like the preseason, bro. People be like, I don't like watching preseason. I like it, bro, because I get to see the future of the Raiders, and I get to see the depth, you know, guys that have chance to really make a name for themselves. Bro, I remember when I watched the preseason one year and Keyshawn Nixon was killing it, bro. I'm like, bro, Keyshawn Nixon's about to be him, bro. And then fucking he was never really that good as a corner, bro, but he ended up leaving us and going to Green Bay and being an all-pro kick returner. So Keyshawn Nixon, but You know, every year I think we have one
of course.
Every year we have one of
Yeah,
those
you find the underdogs and
every year somebody leaves our team and just hallelujah figures it out, right?
Mm-hmm. The Raiders, one thing we've been terrible at, dude, is developing talent for a long timer, and not only developing but evaluating talent, bro. We haven't had great talent evaluators or guys that know how to develop talent. You know what I'm saying? We gave Al Davis a pass for many years because at the end of his life, you know what I'm saying, he was getting a little bit senile there and he was doing crazy shit, but we gave him a pass because he's the pioneer of the league. He's, you know, fucking motherfucker done made it through everything. What up, Mod Father, NorCal Raider Jesse?
Throwing food at the wall, literally.
Yeah, you feel me? But so we were cool with that, bro. But still, even post Al Davis, we still had terrible talent,
bro.
We still have ever since Al Davis has died, it's been the same thing. Terrible talent evaluation, terrible talent development. And you guys have to understand, guys, these are kids coming out of college. You have to develop them. It don't matter how good they are, chat. It don't matter how good they are. You have to develop these kids. These are kids, bro, that are coming from these. A lot of these kids that come out of college were the best that their city, their state had ever seen. These dudes that are playing the SEC come from towns where they were the best player within miles of their town, bro. Like we're talking, what the NFL is 1% of fucking the population, bro. Like these dudes are special, bro. So, but at the same time, if you don't develop them into men, you have to understand once these kids that have been dominant their entire life come to the NFL full of other men that have been dominant their entire life, but now you're coming to a league where these dominant men are paying other people's bills and getting paid to do this. There's levels to this shit, bro. And the Raiders have never even our somewhat, you know, talented kids that we've drafted, bro. We don't develop them and they leave and they succeed elsewhere. So anyways, guys, before we switch over to the defense, man, shout out to the 35 people that are in the chat, man. You guys hit the like button. I'm 2 likes away from 40 likes. You guys subscribe to the channel, man. Go subscribe to Nutty Raider Nate. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Loaded Box. Nutty Raider Nate's doing a solo show next week. You want to tell them a little bit about Nutty Raider Nate?
Yeah, Sunday night we're going live. Little solo bolo. We're talking some O-line, some trenches, Loaded Box shit, you know.
This weekend?
Yeah, Sunday night.
And then what about next Friday?
We'll get live, and then next Friday you catch me with my dog AR right here. We're doing the morning show, so we're doing a little wrap up of the week. So we'll have pads on by then, so you know I'll be animated.
The nutty one.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys are subscribed to Nutty Raider Nate's new channel, The Loaded Box Entertainment. If somebody could post a link, I know the links don't really show.
I was wondering who that was in the chat the other day. I was watching your game stream and I was like, who is that? Now I know.
Yeah, that's the Nutty one. Yeah,
the Nutty one
about the trenches and the boxes shit. And if you guys haven't already, man, you guys go show love to Afakasi Raider, man, on YouTube, man. It's my dog. You feel me? My brother from another. You feel me? All right, guys, let's switch over to the defensive side of the ball. We're going to go defensive line. Max Crosby looking like Max Crosby, guys. They're saying that he's been actually out there killing it, so that's a good thing to see. One thing that we heard out of camp today, Kwity Paye went down in camp today. Klint Kubiak was asked about it. Kwity Paye is fine, but they didn't want to put him back out there and risk him getting injured before pads. So they said they're saving him for pads. Shout out to Xavier for bringing that up. Tonka Hemingway's been out there playing his ass off. Just for the record, when Kwity Paye went down today, Malcolm Kuntz came in. They said he had a sack. Overall, the defensive line has played well. But yeah, man, that's really going to be the engine that moves his defense in 2026. So let's get Afakasi's thoughts on, have you heard anything? And if you haven't, you know, what's your thoughts on the defensive line as a whole in camp so far? Who needs to do their shit to make the team or whatever? You know what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
I got you. It's good to hear about Crosby. It looks like he's getting more and more back to his healthy self, and hopefully a healthy and very motivated Max Crosby is going to lead to one of his best years yet. I hope that's the case, and you know, that would be real nice with all the things that have transpired throughout the course of the offseason. But you know, I'm looking at the other guys though. Like I hear who's the other defensive end? Kwity Paye. He's making a little bit of noise too, which is pleasing. I haven't heard too much about Kuntz. I am looking at the interior though. Like, are we again? Like, how many of these cats do we draft? And we really need one of these guys to amount to something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even asking to be like, you know, an all Pro Bowl type. Like, do something. It's like a turnstile with these young cats. We bring them in the door. We waste draft capital, and they don't do squat. You know what I mean? Like, I do like squat, like nada. Not even like
that's a basura.
A little bit, yeah, basura. It's trash. You know what I'm saying? I'm done with it. I'm over it. But like, I do like I like Tonka though. You know what I mean? Like, he showed me some things last year, and I'm hoping he can build up on that, and you know, like, make the position his own. Or if we do make a trade for Vita Vea, but like, I'm for one, I'm not going to get excited for Vita Vea. I get excited for nobody until they sign the official, you know, the dotted line. I've been through this song and dance so many times throughout the course of the offseason. Yeah. Oh, we're going after this player. We're making a play for that player. Or this player is about to come over and change our franchise. Hallelujah. And they don't come at all. I'm over it. I'm not getting excited for nobody until they sign the dotted line.
Every year it was the Ndamukong Suh. Yeah,
I'm about to say Afakasi. Nutty Raider Nate just made that Ndamukong Suh reference a couple of days ago, bro.
How many years did we say he was an impending free agent? We were going to sign him. We were going to trade for him. He's going to be whatever. And I see your comment, Jeff. Who gives a shit about Cleve Farrell? He was and still is a depth guy at best.
It's funny because Suh came out with a video and talked about Vita Vea's situation, kind of, and talking about you should pay your guys before the deadline pops up. And I get it. Everybody just kind of waiting to see what their options are, waiting last minute. But Vita Vea is a key piece. I would definitely try to go for him. I don't think it's very likely, but that'd be huge.
Perfect time to talk about Vita Vea too. We on the D line. Hey, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question, Eddie Raider. I don't mean to cut you off. You think if the Raiders make a move for Vita Vea, they need to be in a win now mode, or can they still play because right now you see they're going with more of a youth movement, if that makes sense. Like, you think we could still go with the youth movement and give up draft capital and get Vita Vea?
I think it would tell the
concern there.
I think it would tell the team that, hey, we're going for it. Like, like, get on board. Like, we got Vita Vea now, so whether we finish the season,
some real help,
whether we finish the season with 7-8 wins, or we push for the playoffs, it's.
I guess just on a side note, the other guy I'm kind of paying attention. I'll be paying attention to in the preseason is Kieran Crawford. He's a guy I want to see.
He's been playing well in camp. He's been playing well off the cost.
He seems like a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve. Plays with a lot of fire and passion. A bit of fire in the belly, and I want to see that translate on the field.
He's a pure scheme fit to what we want to do too, bro. He's a pure scheme.
Huge culture changer, bro. For
sure. He's like Clelin Ferrell, but where he was supposed to be drafted in the 3rd round, or where the fuck he was drafted out.
Well, look, if we can get a Cleve Ferrell type player in the 3rd round, that's what you expect. You don't expect
that's the point
a Cleve Ferrell type player pick number 3 or 4 in the draft. Not even close to being.
And I think he can be better than Cleve Ferrell. I think he can be better than Cleve Ferrell for sure. But the point I'm trying to make is he's a huge locker room guy, a culture guy, a guy that's gotten about the mud. Had got denied multiple times in college, had to go to a small school before he was able to even make it to SEC, because he didn't even start playing football until his senior year of high school. So, and then he went out there and he went to a small school and dominated, and the SEC was interested in him, and he went over there and played well. Like, a lot of people were looking at his teammate. I forget his teammate that was on that team, bro, but he had a teammate, Falk, I think. That dude was a monster, bro. And a lot of people were watching that team to see him, and Crawford was the one that was standing out the entire game. So
I wouldn't be surprised with Crawford if eventually, like, his ceiling would be what Malcolm Kuntz was come year 3 when he was healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that could be like what Kieran Crawford's floor could be. And I'm hoping
The one thing that's cool about Keyron Crawford too is he played like the third most snaps as an outside linebacker in college football last year. So that means he's a pure 3-4 is what they played. So as a 3-4 outside linebacker, it's not your typical defensive end. The best evaluation I could make is, you know, you got Max Crosby and you got fucking Keyron Crawford, to where Keyron Crawford he's comfortable backing up into coverage and in space. He did that shit last year a lot of times. We seen Max Crosby last year, guys. Was the last couple of years, Raider fans were like, why are they putting Max Crosby in coverage? If they don't run Max Crosby at defensive end in a 3-4, you're going to see Max Crosby in coverage, because that's what 3-4 outside linebackers do, and Keyron Crawford's a perfect fit for that because he ran a lot of outside linebacker where he dropped into coverage. Another guy who's going to fit this scheme really well off of Afakasi is Malcolm Kuntz. Malcolm Kuntz never played 4-3 at Buffalo. He was a stand-up outside linebacker in a 3-4, which made him the second most productive pass rusher to come out of Buffalo since Raider legend Khalil Mack. So now Malcolm Kuntz is coming into a situation where they're going to play 3-4 on base downs. First and second down, you're probably going to get 3-4, but in passing downs, we'll go to multiple. But Malcolm Kuntz is way better than a 3-4, bro. Like, I think we might see the best Malcolm Kuntz we've seen in a long time, because he didn't play 4-3 hand in the dirt defensive end, bro.
I hope so, man. I really do.
Hey, shout out to 35. We hit 40 likes, man. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to the chat. Can't do it without
that screen
on the heartbeat of the show, man. Double tap the screen. Go ahead, Nutty Nate.
Kwity Paye's getting playing time over Malcolm Kuntz right now, it sounds like.
It's because the bag. It's the money. It's the money.
What happened to Kwity Paye? Did they say what happened?
There's no actual report on what happened. They just said that he went down. He walked off with the trainer. He was asked. Klint Kubiak was asked about post practice, and he said that it was just a precautionary issue. They don't want to risk him getting injured. They're gonna wait till the pads come on.
Just on Kuntz, like, there's got to be a reason. I'm hoping that we brought him back. I mean, he wasn't exactly highly productive last year. You know what I'm saying? And I was shocked when we brought him back. If I'm going to be honest, I thought that was the last time we'd see him as a Raider. He signed back up with us. I'm hoping that motivation to try and find that form that he once showed before he was injured translates to results. You know what I mean? Like, if he can even come close to that form he showed that season, then our defensive end room is going to be in a really good place.
One thing I like about Kwity Paye, Afakasi, is he's a great edge setter in the run. He might not be – he hasn't lived up to his first-round hype in terms of where he was drafted at coming out of college as a pass rusher. First couple years, you know, he was decent. You know, the last couple years in terms of just getting after the quarterback, not so good. But you can't take away how good he is at setting the edge in the run game. And, you know, I think that's a lot of what Klint Kubiak wants to do. And what I mean by that, chat, lock in here a little bit with me, right? Klint Kubiak wants to run outside zone running scheme. So they want to attack the edges of the defense, force the linebackers to play sideline to sideline. I think on the defensive line, they want to do the same thing. They want to stop the edges. The best way to get around a defense is getting around the edges, bro. The best way to expose a defense is getting around the edges. Why do you guys hear that one of the number one rules by a defensive end or outside pass rusher is to set the edge in the run game? If you can't set the edge in the run game, teams are going to run all over you with this new revolutionized outside zone run scheme, bro. Look at what the 49ers do, bro. They run that shit to perfection. And what else they do, bro? They set the run. They set the edge in the run game extremely well, bro. I hate to keep pushing this back to the Niners, bro, but we're talking about a guy that runs the same Shanahan scheme. Kubiak runs it. They've been running this shit for a long time. You're going to see a lot of that same mindset with the Raiders. We're going to stop the outside runs, and we're running to the outside. That's how the Raiders are going to play, bro. And Kwity Paye defensively fits that perfect, bro. Kyle Shanahan. Did I say Mike Shanahan? My bad, bro. I don't know. He said Kyle Shanahan. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is, bro, the Raiders are going to attack the edges in the run game, and we're not letting people get to the outside of our defense. And that's how you win in the National Football League, chat, especially on defense. You flow everything back to the middle of your defense. You force the runs inside. Teams want to get to your weak spot. Defensive ends aren't known for stopping the run. They're known for getting after the quarterback. That's the reason why Max Crosby is so great, because teams try to attack him in the running game, but he's so good against it. You know what I'm saying? Kwity Paye is really good against the run, setting the outside, bro. The Raiders are going to set the edges, and we're going to run to the edges, bro. And that's how we're going to play this year, bro. And like I said, that's one thing I do like about Kwity Paye. He doesn't bring a ton of juice in the pass rushing game. Maybe a change of scenery moves the needle for Kwity Paye because he hasn't lived up to his first-round hype. But in terms of just an overall football player, a dog, he's a dog. He's not great, but just overall dog. He'll do anything you ask him to do. Jack of all trades, master of nothing. That's Kwity Paye, dog, in my opinion. I think he'll be a good piece to what we want to do on the D-line.
Football player. We need more of them.
Exactly. That part. He's a football player.
Eight more of them.
Unfortunately, the Raiders gave him a lot of money, but like I said before, bro, it's a salary cap floor. The Raiders had to overpay. That's just the way it is. You can only go into the following season with so much money under the cap. The Raiders were so much money under the cap. That's the reason why we were able to get Linderbaum. If we weren't so much money under the cap and the Raiders had to spend money, we probably wouldn't have got Linderbaum.
I'll be right back.
You know what I'm saying? No, you're good. I think, giving Kwity Paye all that money was with the expectation that Max Crosby wasn't coming back. That's just my opinion. What up, Cam Dawson, man? One of the legend Buccaneers YouTubers on YouTube, man. My boy Cam Dawson. I've been fucking with Cam Dawson for over 10 years on YouTube, bro. We was talking a little bit about the Vita Vea rumors, Cam Dawson. If you want to rewind a little bit, our overall thought on it is we would love to have Vita Vea for sure. If the price is right. That's pretty much what it comes. But we all want him. So shout out to you. Rewind the stream about 10 minutes. We've been talking the defensive line, so he's been a huge topic of the defensive line so far. All right, chat. Shout out to the 35 people that are still watching. Hit the like button. You have any final thoughts on the defensive line, Nutty Raider Nate, before we move on to the linebackers?
Not much. Nah. I'm more interested. I didn't hear nothing about this 3-4 they've been talking about. I didn't hear one thing about.
Oh, you're right.
About no
you're
3-4.
right, but it's just. I think this is the era of football we're in, though, Nutty Raider Nate. It's like a lot of teams have base. But since the NFL has gotten to more of a matchup-based league in terms of I'm going to put my best player here, bro, overall base defenses don't matter anymore. That's the reason why you're seeing a lot of teams, their base defense is nickel. You know what I mean? And they're getting, these hybrid linebackers, these hybrid safeties playing slot. It's because this is a passing league. But at the same time, you're going to have some guys in there that can tackle. So, no, I'm with you. I don't feel like the Raiders are going to be in a ton of 3-4, Nutty Raider Nate. It's going to be more of in running downs. Like first down, when the Raiders are facing, an I form or, a single back with multiple tight ends in a position where they feel like the team's going to run, they're going to match that with the 3-4. But when you see as soon as they see one additional wide receiver on the field, it's going to be nothing but hybrid defense. It's going to be a lot of that's the thing. That's where the NFL is at now, bro. There's really no base defense. There's really not. It's if you want to say there's a base defense, I think nickel is probably the base defense now because everybody has to run nickel because it's a passing league, But I think it's slowly starting to get back to a running league. Slowly but surely, bro, teams are starting to run the ball a lot more.
Yeah,
I think that whole
you adjusted to the speed. Then I'm gonna hit you with power.
yeah. I think the whole Kansas shitty shit where they were dominating the league by throwing the football and getting lucky, dude. I think that shit. Shout out to my boy Raider Tim. I think that finesse shit. Yeah, that finesse football. Yeah, bro.
It's over.
You already know.
That Smash Mouth is back, baby.
Everybody's been fucking with Binther, bro. Like I'm a huge fan of the running game. I feel like the running game is still how you win in the National Football League. That's why I was so upset when we got rid of Josh Jacobs.
I'm get some water. Hold on.
No, you're good for sure. All right, guys. So we are going to move into the next position. All right, we got Afakasi back. You have any final thoughts on the defensive line, Afakasi, before we move to the linebackers?
No, I said my piece. So yeah, you can move on.
For sure. All right, guys. So next, linebacker group, chat. Linebacker group, Nakobe Dean is in practice. He's healthy. That right there, bro, is whew. Bro, wasn't we on this bitch talking about Nakobe? Because they said Nakobe Dean wasn't healthy. That's the reason why he didn't practice in all of the OTAs. But come down to it, they're saying that it was more of a precautionary measure. Nakobe Dean's out there practicing, dude. So I'm excited for that. Nakobe Dean, I've said this before, chat. You have middle linebackers, and you have sideline to sideline linebackers. Dude, Nakobe Dean is a pure sideline to sideline linebacker. He's healthy. Quay Walker, he's a monster, bro. Also sideline to sideline linebacker. He's the healthy guy. He's the guy that does. He hasn't really experienced too many injuries over his career. Former green dot for the Green Bay Packers, joins the Raiders as now the backup green dot to Nakobe Dean, as Nakobe Dean's going to get the green dot for the Raiders this year. But Max Crosby, he said he looked over to fucking Quay Walker and was like, he started laughing, and Quay was like, "What are you laughing at?" And he was like, "Bro, you big as fuck or something." Pause, like something like that. And then like he's a big ass dude, and Quay Walker was like, "Yeah, bro, it's about to be different this year." So Quay Walker's got that energy. This is probably the best overall linebacker group in terms of the top heavy that I like, bro. Like my issue with the linebackers, dude, is that we have the revenge of the Bergs behind them, with Tommy Eichenberg and Cody Lindenberg. You know what I'm saying? So the depth worries me a little bit there. I still think the Raiders should kick the tires on Bobby Wagner. See what kind of role Bobby Wagner would be willing to play with the Raiders. So yeah, man, and shout out to the dogs, bro. You know what time it is, Cam Walker, bro. I remember.
How old in the tooth is Bobby Wagner though?
He's up there, bro, but he's still playing at an extremely high level, dog. He's still, but I don't want him to be a starter, Afakasi. I'm talking about like a role, like a def, like our third linebacker.
He's right around Jamal Adams' age.
Yeah, and he's playing way better than Jamal Adams. Shout out to Jamal Adams, who just got a contract with the Vikings. I would have brought. I said this earlier, Afakasi.
I wouldn't have been mad if he brought him back either.
Yeah, I would have brought Jamal Adams and Devin White back as def linebackers. I'd rather have them as def.
Yep.
I'm more confident in those two guys than to your what you said before in the Bergs. Like, I'm not impressed with either the Bergs. I mean, granted, like, look, it was Cody Lindenberg's rookie season. And this is, what is he, a 7th round guy? And I do hear that he's putting in the work, which is good to hear. But, Eichenberg, like, he's shown that he does some things on special teams, which is something. But I expect a little more than that. Like, come year 3, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that he's still battling for a roster spot, whatever. But, like, on the positive, I am excited to see what the likes of Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker, and whether Kwity Paye or whoever else is that other outside linebacker, whatever. But I'm hoping what you said is comes to fruition. RaiderBen, this is going to be what it looks like on paper to be one of our better linebacking cores for a minute, longer than a minute. It's been a hot minute since we've had the linebacking core being the point of strength for this team. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be nice to have that again. But it'd be even nicer if it was one of our homegrown guys being able to develop and contribute to that. And I'm looking at the Bergs. You know what I'm saying?
One of the Bergs to stand out. Yeah, bro. We have. I think it's Cody Lindenberg, bro. He's a dog on special teams, bro. I think he was a Pro Bowler special teamer. So he's good. And sometimes
good on special teams.
One of them, I'm not sure. You might be right. One of them, bro.
I'm pretty sure it was Tommy.
Eichenberg, Lindenberg, the Samesonberg. You know what I'm saying? What up, Rosetown?
The Hindenburg.
Yeah, bro. Like it's like they're long lost brothers, bro, that found their way back to the fucking team.
The friggin' iceberg that sank the Titanic. Shit.
Iceberg, Eichenberg, Lindenberg, same shit. God damn it! I hope that Eichenbergs and Lindenbergs can be like the iceberg and sink the NFL. God damn it!
Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy. Whole bunch of so there it is. So, bro, you're right. So Rosetown said Eichenberg is the one that's legit.
Yeah, it was Eichenberg.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I was gonna just say this, bro. Sometimes it takes a player, because sometimes a player will spend a couple years on special teams, bro, and be really good, and then be a really good starter. I mean, it's happened in the past. I'm not saying it's gonna happen now, but he's
Alfredo.
I know, man. Hey. So one thing I do like about that he's good on special teams. He knows how to tackle. I think in special teams you have to know how to tackle. You have to know how to take angles. He's good at that. Who knows, man? Maybe we have a diamond in the rough sitting back there with Tommy Eichenberg. We don't know. But
show me something.
Would you guys agree with me? Would you guys agree with me that health is going to really determine the overall outcome of the linebacker crew, it's going to be health, bro, in my opinion.
I feel like there was a plan. There was a plan, and they had to pivot after the fucking trade fell through, and we missed out on some other key players, and now we're looking like Swiss cheese in parts of our roster. So I don't have a lot of after I finding out that Nakobe Dean, well, hopefully he is healthy, but I feel like they're lying to us, to be honest. To be real, I feel like they're fucking just lying to us, and hopefully he's healthy enough to play. Take it easy, ease him in, and hopefully he's ready for game one. But I do like Walker. Walker's out there fucking. I'm hearing stuff about him being as big as Max Crosby, even bigger. So that's like, and being an athletic freak. I can't wait to see what that looks like. Shit, you know what I mean? Let's.
Nah, yeah, they said Quay Walker's massive, dog. I mean, they was calling that motherfucking alien like for a reason, bro. Respectfully, bro. That they said that motherfucker's got he's lanky. Yeah. But the thing about Quay Walker, bro, it's not only is he lanky, dude, but he's like muscular lanky, like weird ass in a good way lanky in football term. What up, Alec M?
What's it cover? Forgive my ignorance, well, not ignorance, like my lack of knowledge on the two when it comes to their pass coverage. But like, what are they like in pass coverage, Dean and Walker? Either of you guys give us some insight.
I feel like Dean's more of a cover guy, but Quay Walker's more around the line of scrimmage. He's as big as Max Crosby, if not bigger. So he could cover. I don't think it's not his forte.
So they're both your prototypical middle linebackers, bro. They can both cover. Nakobe Dean is probably better of the coverage linebackers. Quay Walker's a little bit better against the run, but they both can do both, and they're both sideline to sideline linebackers. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about a guy linebackers that can just stuff the gap. I mean, these guys can truly run from the left hash to the right hash. These guys can do it all. I mean, they're. I wouldn't say I would, like I said, I'd say Nakobe Dean's the better pass coverage linebacker. Quay Walker, not saying he can't cover, but he's probably the better, run stopping, gap filling type linebacker. But he can do both though, for sure. We got it's just a combination of just overall they're good at a lot of things, a lot of things that we haven't had, and I feel like they make up for each other's flaws. I feel like for what Quay Walker might lack in athleticism, Nakobe Dean makes up for that. I think for what Nakobe Dean might make up for in size and types of his height, Quay Walker offsets that. And keep in mind, Afakasi, we're talking about two guys that played in college together at an extremely high level, and they're best friends in college. Like, these guys know each other, you feel me, like your right hand and your left hand. They know exactly what each other wants to do, so on top of that, Eric Stokes was a part of that team. So I think that's a lot of the aspect that went into it, Afakasi. On top of the fact, look at all the Georgia Bulldog players that have been good in the National Football League. And when you get a chance to go snatch up, Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean, and you make those guys available and they were teammates, you make that happen. Because, I mean, who would you rather have, Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean, or Devin White and fucking who was the other dude, the old man fucking that we got from the Steelers, the old guy, Elandon Roberts. I mean, come on, bro. It's an upgrade. No, he was a hitter. He's just slow. Yeah. But that's why I didn't want him, bro. That's why I didn't want him, bro. I didn't want him because he was slow.
You can't move.
All right, guys. Shout out to the chat, man. Thanks for coming by, man. We're going to be moving into our next position group. You guys have any last thoughts on the linebackers before we move on to the corners?
No. Cross your fingers.
The corners.
Yeah. Cross your fingers.
Shout out to the chat, man. We appreciate you guys, bro. We're still 40 strong in this motherfucker, bro. So I appreciate you guys for sure. You guys are the heartbeat of my channel, bro, and Nutty Raider Nate's channel. And Afakasi, like I said, if we didn't have you guys, bro, we'd be talking to a wall, bro. And We appreciate it, bro. We appreciate you guys enjoying the content. And, you know, if you guys enjoy the content, man, hit the like button, smash a like, subscribe to the channel, go tap into Nutty Raider Nate in the loaded box. You feel me? Go subscribe right here, the Silver and Black Lounge with Nutty, with RaiderBen. And go check out Afakasi Raider, man. Just type in Afakasi Raider on YouTube. There's only one of them. He is the one and only Afakasi Raider, man, from down under, man. So go subscribe to him, bro. I appreciate your guys' love as always, man, coming through, showing some love. It's really appreciated, bro. We couldn't do this shit without y'all. What up, Alec M? All right, guys. So corners. We're gonna start with you, Nutty Raider Nate. Corners.
What's in it? Yeah. Very important. I'm hearing some good things. He made a play or two. That's cool. But I think his job is definitely on the line. We saw Masses getting burnt by Bowers, but that was a tough play. I mean, I think Bowers does that to everybody.
Yeah.
So
that part.
But I think the fact that he was there, he had good coverage. So I think
for sure.
Any other player, it'd be good. That'd be good enough. But it was Bowers. So I'm a big Masters fan too. I feel like he's got a real good chance. And then what happened to Gerard McCoy? What?
No, he's playing. He's primarily just running with the twos.
But why?
They're easy because they said they want to ease him into things, bro. They want to ease him into it.
That makes no sense. If he's ready, throw him out there.
I don't. That's the thing, though, Nutty. Right now, I don't think they 100% believe that at this moment he's ready. They're probably gonna wait for the pads to come on, bro.
They're making excuses. Everything I was hearing before this week was he's looking like a first round draft pick out here, and he's like,
but you can't. You have to take it easy, though, Nutty Raider Nate. We're talking about a very.
The twos go just as hard as the ones, if not harder, because they're trying to be the ones. What are we talking about?
But the Raiders, I think what the Raiders have in plans for Nutty Raider fucking Jamad McCoy is they're trying to plan to keep him as healthy as long as possible. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to them pads come on and see, you feel me, how he reacts to it. I don't know.
They're lying. They're lying.
He said they're lying. Good damn it.
Bunch of damn lies.
Hey, how's my camera coming out? I'm not
good, bro.
Yeah, you look fine. You look fine, bro.
Crystal
I don't
clear.
like checking out other men. But,
Big plus.
Guy,
anyways,
so I'll give you a couple little comments. Some compliments. You can touch it. No. So, anyways, any outside of that, Nutty Raider Nate, you got any thoughts on the corners?
Yeah, just I don't like that Gerard McCoy shit. That's about it. Yeah, corner with safety is a different. I guess we could talk about Salat. I guess. Right, it's not another position.
No, it's slots, corners. Yeah, we good.
Throw AR up.
Traydon Stukes. I heard has been getting some slot corner reps, bro, today. So I don't want to bring up another position, but it just coincides with the cornerback room. So today, Traydon Stukes was getting played at slot corner, and Isaiah Polamau was your starting free safety today. And they said that Isaiah Polamau looked all right. So I mean, that's just a report that came out today. It was just, obviously they're just, throwing shit out there and seeing different personnel groups.
They'll do stuff like that to disguise stuff because they'll rotate in the middle of the play and stuff. So that's just to confuse the offenses and their first reads, which I like that stuff. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of competition in that cornerback 2 spot, Xavier, to be sure, to be honest with you, bro. So from what I've heard over the last couple of days, I think day 1 training camp, they had DeCam Richardson getting a lot of number 1 reps outside of Eric Stokes. Day 2, it was a lot of Darian Porter. Today, it was a lot of Hezekiah Masses. We played the clip earlier, man, of Hezekiah Masses one-on-one with Brock Bowers. Great coverage, on Brock Bowers. But, this is Brock Bowers we're talking about. We're talking about Hezekiah Masses, who's one is undersized. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be able to guard Brock Bowers. He's too small, but he did put himself in great position. And also, a great ball being thrown. And, we're talking about Brock Bowers is all pro. But, I think Hezekiah Masses is going to have a real shot. If you guys checked out Rob Leonard's press conference, he said like one of the red flags for a defender or a defense is if they're not taking the ball away. So that was one of my huge takeaways from what Rob Leonard said, bro. And I think, those guys that are going to take the ball away are going to be the guys that are going to get out there and get the most playing time. So Hezekiah Massis came out today, looked good. Shout out to Teron Johnson from what they were saying today. I guess Kirk Cousins was looking for a deep ball down the sideline for Trey Tucker. And the ball hit Darian Porter in the back of the helmet, and it bounced up in the air. And, Teron Johnson just happened to be Johnny on the spot and got the interception. So, the cornerback room, dude, is going to be very interesting because, Darian Porter, let's go back to last year. Darian Porter allowing, a sub 80 quarterback rating when targeted, which is extremely good. The only person on the Raiders roster that had a higher or a lower quarterback rating was Eric Stokes, who I believe had like the lowest quarterback rating when targeted last year by any corner in the league. So Darian Porter in limited snaps last year in terms of quarterback rating overall when targeted played extremely well. So, but obviously there's a buy-in there with Darian Porter is, he's not really a corner. He's a converted wide receiver that played 7 or 8 games in college at corner. He was good enough to get drafted, but obviously played good for the Raiders last year. But the Raiders are bringing in a lot of guys, bro. So Hezekiah Massis is going to be pushing for it. There's a lot of other guys in that cornerback room, that are going to be trying to push to try to make it move. So anyways, Afakasi, your thoughts on the corners?
Look, I'm excited to see what they can do. We've got a lot of young guys there. I like Eric Stokes to a point. He's good at what he does without necessarily being a baller of, say, like the likes of the Osmo or these other cornerbacks that we've had that are legends of the game. You know what I'm saying? It would be nice to have that again sooner rather than later. We've been waiting a long time since we've had somebody of that caliber since Nnamdi Asomugha. And here we are. We've drafted 6 guys in the last 3 years alone at the cornerback position. Since the move to Vegas, like outside of defensive tackle, I believe that's the position we've drafted the most of. We brought cats in the door, and time again, they just don't work out. The best of the bunch was your boy, of Dirty's boy, Amik Robertson, and friggin' Nate Hobbs. Outside of that, it's been a turnstile of guys that just don't do squat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm done with it. I'm over it. Like, we need one of these young guys to establish themselves and merge. Like, we've swung 6 times in the last 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Surely it's not too much to ask for one of these cats to amount to something. You know what I mean? Or solidify a starting role. I don't care whether it's nickel. I don't care if it's outside corner. Can one of these guys, just one, do something? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I hear the tidbits about Darian Porter. If he can keep trending upwards, maybe he can be that guy. But, like, surely one, hallelujah, if we can find 2 of these guys who can pan out for us, you know what I mean? But just do something. Solidify your spot, make a stake your claim at that as either our starting nickel or our outside corner. I don't want these guys, again, like I said before, they're starting by default or because we got no one else. You're starting because you're good enough to start and you're going to produce. And I want that from one of these guys, just one. Like, come the frig on. That's not too much to ask for, is it?
I don't know. And shout out to SoCal Sal, bro. He said, I didn't know Porter was a converted quarterback and he was a 3rd rounder. Yeah, bro. Like, that's one thing we try to be. I might get a little off the rails and we talk shit, and I try to bring a ton of entertainment to the stream, but we also bring a little bit of informative shit. You feel me? And yeah, bro. Yeah, he only played like 6 games or something, bro, or 8 games as a
like
corner. He played wide.
Yeah,
like sorry, I was just going to say to that point, like both of you guys, like, how do you guys feel like to that point? Do either of you in your heart of hearts, believe he's done enough to make you feel confident he can be the guy moving forward?
No,
I gotta see in this new scheme, but no.
I don't watch a lot of cornerback play, but he stood out to me as in a bad way, like he didn't know where he was sometimes, and he was out of position.
Yeah, and my only counter argument to that is this right here is that he was a developmental player.
He lacked instincts, just defensively, overall angles for tackling. It was bad.
I think Darian Porter was more drafted for his ball skills. We didn't see a lot of that in year one because the entire defense was bad. But we're talking about a guy that played wide receiver and was pretty productive, as a wide receiver in college, and had the humility, to make the position change because his teammates.
We need some wide receiver help. What's up?
No, I feel you. I mean, maybe he can still play. I'm just saying. But he had some humility, bro, and was like, fuck it, I'll go play corner. We need corners. And he went out there, bro, in one season and was one of the best corners in college, bro, in one season and only playing 8 games, dude. He was extremely productive. He was a guy that with his pure athleticism, a guy that maybe with Al Davis could have been drafted higher. The issue with him is he's going to have to learn how to play corner. He's, like I said, bro, he's got ball skills. He played wide receiver, so he understands how wide receivers want to run routes. I just think, like people have said before, he was your prototypical Pete Carroll. Let's draft a converted wide receiver in the later rounds and transition him as they did with Richard Sherman. Because if you guys with Richard Sherman, he played mainly wide receiver in college, played a little bit of corner. Pete Carroll drafted him in the later rounds, converted him to one of the best corners in the National Football League, and he's the same skill set as Darian Porter. But just because we drafted him with the expectation that Pete Carroll was going to develop him and make him into the next Richard Sherman or his Richard Sherman, I don't think we should give up on him because I think he's got a lot of talent, bro. It's just, once again, Afakasi Raider, we got to develop it, dude. We let it go. It could be good somewhere else. Anyway,
I'm not digging at Porter specifically. All I'm saying is that, come on, like we've swung 6 times in the last 3 seasons at the cornerback position specifically. Like, surely it is not too much to ask for one, if not 2 of these guys to establish themselves as starters and productive, good starters. Surely that's not too much to ask.
Bro, Sherman dropped. They wouldn't have got him. Sherman dropped. They wouldn't have got him. Fucking Darian Porter. We reached for him in the 3rd round, bro.
I see a lot of people give the Raiders good grades for that pick. Nutty,
I get what you're saying, but I hate it. I fucking hate it.
What did you hate more, that pick or Jack Bech?
Right there, the back to back, bro. Fucking killed me. on top of Ashton Genty in the 1st round. Like,
I thought Darian Porter, in my opinion, Nutty Raider Nate, was probably the 2nd best player we drafted last year beside Ashton Genty. Anyways, go ahead.
Maybe Tonka might have something to say about that.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. I forgot to add Tonka that shit. Yeah, for sure. So I feel like those were the 3 best players that we got.
I like Pegues. I just think we're
I like
playing him out of position. Too, but we're expecting him to play the nose tackle, and he's not.
Yeah, he's light in the ass, Nutty Raider Nate. You know what his skill set reminds me of a current Raider right now, Nutty Raider Nate? He reminds me a lot of Jonah Lulu. He's a lot like Jonah Lulu, bro. Jonah Lulu's more light in the ass, but Lulu, yeah, shout out to him. But he's solid, But that's if you look at their frame, they look very similar, bro. And unfortunately, the Raiders don't need another Jonah Lulu. They need a big body motherfucker. They need a Taka Hemingway. They need a Vita Vea.
Vita Vea.
We're talking TTs. We kind of forgot to mention, we still have Butler and Thomas Booker, who they're high on as well, like in the depth, see what they're like in this new scheme. But those are 2 guys I like.
But Booker's a cool piece.
Alfredo, appreciate.
He's a good piece. I just he's little too. He's definitely it gets exposed in the run a lot.
Who are we talking about?
Booker.
Booker, yeah. I like Booker though. I like Booker a little bit.
He's scrappy. He's a good
rotational locker room guy as well. He seems to be the locker room, one of the locker room leaders.
But
who's last longer?
We need a Vita Vea. We need a fucking mammoth.
So would you guys agree who won the Jacorian Bennett trade? Who won? The Raiders or the Eagles?
Still too early.
No,
still too early.
But Jacorian Bennett ain't even played, bro. He's been injured the entire time. Yeah,
No, he's not.
Is he out the
league? He's not out the league. No, he's not. He's still on the roster. He went down to injury before he could do anything significant last year. So like for the short term, maybe, but like for me, like I stressed before about like how many draft picks that we've been taking at the cornerback position, and at least with Jacorian Bennett, he was showing me something, and that he proved to be the best coverage cornerback that we'd had, like outside of maybe Nate Hobbs and Amik Robertson since we'd moved to Vegas. And then we traded him off when we got Thomas Booker, who was healthy and was playing and was productive early on in the season, but then like later on in the season, he didn't really do too much. So it's a case of like a guy who didn't really do too much or a guy who wasn't on the field at all. Like it's not really.
Yeah, I mean, I the only reason why I think the Raiders won early, bro, is because we kind of knew what the Eagles were going to get when we trade them Jacorian Bennett. We're like, bro, you guys are about to get an injured player. Like, he's really good when he's healthy, but he's not ever healthy, bro. You feel me? And I feel like you can't compare the two positions, but I'm sure we got way more starts or way more fucking opportunities or on the field time for fucking the dude we got from fucking the Eagles than Jacorian Bennett. I forgot his name already. I'm drunk, sorry.
Thomas Booker.
Yeah, Booker. I think Booker got more playing time than Jacorian Bennett got last year. Jacorian Bennett was hurt the entire time.
Yeah, he was. That's what I'm saying. Like Jacorian Bennett was hurt the entire time, and like if you want to look at it from that perspective, because Thomas Booker, he was on the field. He was productive in the first couple of games. I noticed him. I thought he was doing really well. But then, like the last half or 2/3 of the season, I just didn't really see much of anything at all. So, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, obviously it wasn't meant to be. I don't know, where Jacorian Bennett would fit in this cornerback room now. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, there's a lot of players that we have in this room now that's very similar to him. And if he was in this locker room now, all right, let me ask you this, Afakasi. And shouts out Alfredo. He said, trade on Stooks, better ball out because I wanted Caden McDonald. Caden McDonald was the defensive tackle. I want him as well. A lot of people did. Shout out to you, Alfredo, bro. Much love. But I forgot where I was going with that, bro.
You were going to ask me something in regards to Jacorian Bennett.
Okay, so yeah, thank you, bro. You jogged my memory. All right, so who do you think would have the best opportunity in this room right now, this locker room? Would you think Thomas Booker would have the best opportunity to get more actual reps, or Jacorian Bennett? Where we stand now?
Honestly, I might be on my island saying this, but Jacorian Bennett. Because at least he's proven that he proved that he could cover. I noticed him making plays when the ball was thrown to him, and he was covering some of the best wide receivers in the game that particular season that I noticed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I noticed him for the right reasons year 2. You know what I mean? We got rid of him year 3. It is whatever. But, like, he proved to me that he can cover. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't seen anything yet from these young cornerbacks that we've had. Granted, we've just drafted, like, 3 or 4 of them this year. You know what I mean? But at least there was something there with Thomas Booker. Like, I like him as a locker room guy. And like I said, I noticed him doing well at the position in the first few games. But outside of that, he didn't really do too much. So I would rather, and the fact that we've changed to a 3-4 and we really need more of a nose tackle. And to your point, Nate, like, how is Booker going to fit in this particular scheme?
Nuts, Fluffy.
You know what I'm saying? So
nuts.
Look, but you asked me the question. I'm giving you an answer. Like, Bennett for me, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to cry anymore about spilt milk. He's not here. We've got Booker. You know what I'm saying? So let's roll.
No. So this is my mindset on it, Afakasi. So if I just look at each room, right? If Jacorian Bennett was in this cornerback room right now, this is how I look at it.
Good.
If I'm just thinking right now, like how the roster sits, right? Based on where guys are drafted or talent level, in my opinion, or whatever, I think you would have Eric Stokes. You would have either Darian Porter or Jermod McCoy if Jermod McCoy ends up being pretty good. You feel me? Like how we think he's going to be. And then you'd have Darian Porter in that next position, right? And then you would have Hezekiah Masses. And then you would have Teron Johnson. So I feel like he would be fucking buried, Afakasi. That's how I look at it. In this locker room, he would be buried. But then when I look at the defensive tackle room, you know, we got Adam Butler, who's the bona fide starter. You know, he's been the most productive, right? There's going to be some battle there with Jonah Lawulu, you know what I'm saying, and Tonka. And then there's going to be that spot right there where Thomas Booker is going to have a real opportunity to do something. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Like Tonka, like Thomas Booker's not buried. I think Jacorian Bennett in the same locker room, dude, he's buried. You guys time Fluffy Campos out, dude. I unbanned him. Just time him out. Don't ban him. Just time him out, bro. Let him sit for 5 minutes, chat. That's why the moment this dude's the biggest fan. The moment I unban him, bro, he just be in my chat, just spamming. Anyways, guys, what's your thought, Afakasi? Do you think that's you agree with that, or you think Jacorian Bennett would be higher in this cornerback room with all the additions we made and things like that?
My bottom line is that Jacorian Bennett at least showed me something, and none of these other cornerbacks have not.
No, I feel you. Yeah, this.
But anyways,
this
like I said, like
room,
you know, I'm not going to cry any more spilt milk about it. You know, Booker's here and Bennett's not. So let's just rock with what we got.
Nutty Raider Nate, you have any thoughts on the corners?
Yeah, no, I'm just disappointed with Gerard McCoy. All the hype, he's not with the ones. That's all.
You think that's a health issue, though?
No, that shouldn't be. That's dumb. That's because he's still
a snap count.
He's still got to go out there and run play. I guess that makes more sense. Snap count.
They don't want to rush him.
Even then, he should be with the ones. It's snap count with the ones. Get in rotation.
That's just my opinion, Bubba. They don't want to rush him, gang.
I know the talent level should be there, Nate, but at the end of the day, he's a 4th round guy.
I want to see him out there with the ones.
No, we all do. No, Nutty Ray Nate, we all do, bro. And like you said earlier in the show, Nutty Ray Nate, when them pads come on, we're gonna see. And from what I've seen and from what I've heard from Jermod McCoy, dude, is he is a physical corner, bro. And he runs extremely fast and he's not afraid of contact, dog. So I think honestly, Nutty Raider Nate, it may be let's just slowly roll it in the pads. Let's make sure his body, his lower body, his surgery is good. And once pads come up, pop and bang, Jermod McCoy's in that bitch. It's going to be a slow roll. It's, in my opinion, it's a lot like how they're going to approach the Fernando Mendoza situation, bro. We're not trying to rush him. I mean, do we want him out there? Fuck yeah. A lot of Raider Nation wants Fernando Mendoza out there. But the Raiders understand that they want to put the player in the best position for him to succeed. And the best way to do that is make sure he's ready. And like you said, Nutty Ray Nate, even if he was a starter, Nutty Ray Nate, and he was balling, you would say, what? If they don't have pads on. You know what I mean? So let's see when the pads come on. You feel me? When
that's
the pads come on, he's out there.
More of a reason he should be with the ones. They don't have pads on right now. Yeah.
But I guess to that point, though, Nate, I guess you're kind of with me on what I said about, like, you know, we've drafted 6 or 7 in the last 3 years. Like, surely it's not too much to ask whether it's McCoy or any of these other cats to establish themselves at the outside corner or the nickel. You know what I'm saying? Like, surely that's not too much to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a very good coaching staff this year. You know, I expect to see some development across the roster. And once again, guys, you know, there's talent here. I mean, let's go back and look at that team. What was it? The 2024 team. Look how many of those players that were on that 2024 team that were in the AFC Championship game and in the Super Bowl in the 2025 season, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Levon Chason, right tackle, Thayer Mumford,
Robert Spillane.
A
lot of them, bro.
Josh
Jacobs
coach
was in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs was out there in the playoffs. So the point I'm trying to make is we just got to get back to keeping our players, developing our players, and I think we're going to be good. So, all right, guys, let's move on to the safeties. Shout out to the chat, bro. We've held 40 strong all night. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my brother, Afakasi Raider. There's only one of them on YouTube, bro. We can't share links in these vertical shit, but just look up Afakasi Raider. You'll see him. Subscribe to him. And then the Loaded Box Entertainment, man. The Loaded Box Entertainment, bro. There's only one of them, bro. The boy Nutty Raider Nate locked in the box. in the lounge at RaiderBen talking Raiders Bowl. Appreciate everybody who came by tonight. Show some love. Getting to the end of the show, man, but we appreciate you guys, man. We're talking safeties. All right, guys. So safeties, Raiders, Treydon Stukes. I haven't heard much about him. I really haven't heard nothing about the safeties at all in training camp, if I've been honest with y'all. I heard that Palomar got some run this today as a starting safety with Treydon Stukes in the slot. But outside of that, man, I think this is another very questionable room for the Raiders, guys. Let me know how you guys feel. Chat. Afakasi, the safeties, bro, like kind of shaky, no?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, I was a little disappointed that Palomar didn't continue to trend upwards like he had been doing. Do I believe he's a bad player? No, but do I believe he's a good player, like a good enough starter? As that coverage guy, it really seemed to be lacking last season. I don't know, like, again, like we drafted some guys who we're hoping to put into that position if it ain't the guys that we've got in the door as it stands. We got Jeremy Chin. What are we going to do with Treydon Stukes? Is he going to be nickel or is he going to be a safety? What is it? Is it Dalton Johnson, the other guy we drafted from the same college?
Johnson, his teammate.
Is he going to float in and out of nickel or try and stake a claim as that coverage safety? I don't know. Like, I'm not sold we've got our coverage safety until proven otherwise. Again, like I said about the cornerback position, you could, kind of segue that as a safety. Like, can one of these two guys that we drafted, if it's not Chen, and if it ain't Palomar, and if it ain't McCollum or whoever else we've got in that a safety core, then can one of these young guys stake a claim to be that coverage safety that we really could use right now? Time will tell, but to be seen.
I love the name you brought up, Tristan McCullum, bro. Tristan McCullum is a very under the radar player. I think a lot of you guys need to be keeping your eyes on, bro. I'm not exactly sure how Spytech was able to pull off a Tristan McCullum. He's what I would call a chess piece. What up, D Menace? Shout to my brother D Menace.
What's up, D Menace?
He's a safety that can play everywhere. His frame is a lot like Isaiah Palomar, but very talented player, dog. It's going to be very interesting to see how we put Tristan McCullum out there. He won a Super Bowl. He played significant snaps for the Philadelphia Eagles over there in Philadelphia. The Raiders were able to pry him. I like Tristan McCullum a lot. I like Jeremy Chin. I was a huge fan of Jeremy Chin when he came out of college. I remember he got drafted by the Carolina Panthers, I believe, in the second round. I wanted Jeremy Chin. There's the issue with Jeremy Chin, though, is you got to put him in the right scheme. He's not your, how can I say this, bro? He's not a free safety, or he's not your coverage safety, dude. If you put him in that position, you're not putting Jeremy Chin in the best position to win. He's a downhill, hit the ball carrier type safety. He's, in my opinion, he's like a linebacker. He's like a hybrid linebacker. So I remember last year when the coaching staff was talking about, we're going to put Jeremy Chin in the slot, and we're seeing him in the slot. I knew it was a recipe for disaster. Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat, bro. We hit 50 likes, bro. That's half of 100, bro. Appreciate y'all. Hey, bro. So Jeremy Chin, the recipe to success with him, bro, ain't putting him in coverage, bro. You got to let him play more of that linebacker role. He's a joker type player, and he's your rare athletic Al Davis would love this guy type player, bro. 6'2", 6'3", 4'3" speed. I just don't know how this coaching staff is going to deploy him. Shots of Bloody Raider, bro. Welcome to the chat. I appreciate you, my boy. Subscribe if you enjoy the content. Hit the like button, chat. Double tap the screen. Safety room's interesting, guys. I don't know what the long-term plan is with Treydon Stukes. Treydon Stukes at Arizona played the majority of his snaps at slot corner, but the Raiders currently have Teron Johnson, who's a slot corner. So anyways, take it away, Afakasi. What's your thoughts on the safeties, bro?
I shared my take. I think it's Nate's turn.
Oh, it's Nutty Raider Nate. Okay, sorry, bro. Sorry.
No, you good, man.
Go ahead, Nutty Raider.
Oh, man. I'm a little upset. we ignored the safety position in the draft again in free agency. It felt like too. I'm a big fan of Tristan McCollum. Stooks does play both, but to me, it looked like most of his highlights were in the slot. So, and then we already had Tyron Johnson, so it was just like and then Dalton Johnson's pretty much the same player as Stooks, just a little bigger, maybe a little slower. I don't know if he's going to even see the field this year.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah,
I hope Stooks is the plan. I really do.
We there was some other safeties there too that we could have got instead of Stooks, and we took Stooks. So they were like true safeties, like that were on the overall consensus board. They were rated above Stooks. So I really hope Stooks works out. Everybody's really high on him, so he's our guy.
I hate to cry over spilt milk again, but man, we had a homegrown talent in Trayvon Morey. Couldn't we have just kept him? For Christ's sakes.
He was taxing us though. He got paid.
Shout out to Trayvon Merrick, bro. I remember we got rid of Trayvon Merrick, bro. I remember I was like, what the fuck? I don't know, bro. I thought Trayvon Merrick just he had like this he knew how to control the defense. He had chemistry or whatever the word I'm looking for. Sorry, guys. Everybody kind of fucked with what Trayvon Merrick was doing. He was a scheme fit, and we just was like, fuck it. Let's just throw him to the curb. And that's no disrespect to Jeremy Chin. I like Jeremy Chin. But I fucked with Trayvon Merrick, bro. Bro, when Trayvon Merrick came out of college, out of TCU, bro, he was a first-round touted #1 safety in the draft.
And he
draft night
because
came,
he was injured.
Yeah, draft night came, and an injury, non-disclosed injury came out. He fell the second round. You know what I'm saying? There was a
Not
couple
very far,
safeties.
Tell me who was a better coverage safety in the last 15 years than Trayvon Morey. Tell me.
I mean, guy that never got beat deep for real, and that's really the #1 key of a safety, bro, is do not get beat deep.
Reggie Nelson, is that his name?
Even Reggie Nelson, I thought he was okay, but not as good as Morey.
I didn't like Reggie Nelson.
Reggie Nelson had one good year, dude. And that second year, he was by far probably one of the worst safeties I've ever seen play for the Raiders ever. Yeah. But that first year, that 2016 season, yeah, bro, he made the Pro Bowl that year. He was one of 10 Pro Bowlers. I think that 2016 season, we had 10 Pro Bowlers. We were or 11 Pro Bowlers. We were only one short of the Cowboys, bro, with Pro Bowlers that year, dog.
Who was the safety?
Was one of them.
Who was the safety that we got from the Rams and we played him at slot?
Safety from the Rams.
LaMarcus
Joyner.
Joyner,
LaMarcus Joyner.
Well, Charles Woodson would be the last, you know what I'm saying? And he was, he was how old and still getting the job done at safety? That would be the last guy I feel was better than Trayvon Morey at the free safety position.
Who?
What do you mean who? Charles Woodson.
I know that guy.
Yeah, you might want to know him.
Hey, bro, LaMarcus Joyner could have been really good too, dude. We just played him out of position the entire time, bro. I don't know what the fuck we were doing, bro.
Another one. Joyner. We were trying to put the square peg in a circle, in a round circle, whatever.
A round hole. A round hole, you son of a bitch. Bro, I mean, it's just what we do, bro. All right, guys. So we pretty much went over the entire roster. I ain't really gonna put no banner up for the punter. We all think AJ Cole for surely about to run away with this punter spot. Yeah. How we feeling about Kensai Matsuzawa? Kensai. I'm gonna go grab a couple more beers. Y'all take it away. Kensai. And I'm gonna empty out my piss jug because that shit's starting to overflow. I'll be right back.
It's a cool story. Yeah. It's a cool story. I don't think it's
it's a cool story, but can he get the job done? I don't care if his name's Matsuzawa. I don't care if his last name is Gay. You got one job. Kick the ball between the posts. Do that at a higher percentage. I'm cool. I don't care who it is.
It's so upsetting.
That's it for me.
So upsetting. Yeah, bro. I'm fucking mad that we didn't keep Carlson and we got somebody who's actually worse than him last year, and like older, and yeah, just terrible.
Like I said, you got one job: kick the ball between the posts. That's it.
Yeah.
What about returner? Who you got much? Who do you think? Seems like Lobby's got the
they brought in
first
some
team reps so far.
They brought in some special returners.
Tariq Young, was it? Is that his name?
Yeah, Young was one of them. Yep, Tariq. And then I think Hemby could be out there trying to get a spot on special teams.
It's been a long minute again since we've had like a bona fide returner who we could be excited about that can consistently give us some production at the spot, right?
Yeah,
a long time, and I'm quite over it, right?
Just special teams in general hasn't had the same.
Well, kicker and punter has been for the most part. Like that's a position, and shout out to the long snapper. I mean, you know, again, you got one job, so as long as you're not noticing them for the wrong reasons, like what's that fella, the guy who was rolling the ball, tumble ball stars, the Travis Gaethel back in 2012. You know what I'm saying?
I
got one job. You do? Oh, yeah.
No, I'm trolling.
Yeah.
Hey, I fuck with the kicker, dog, because as soon as he come on the field, I'm gonna say yes, I can say you son of a bitch. Bro, that shit got a ring to it. I'm about to be announcing him like he's a samurai, god damn it.
Kamikaze style.
I appreciate that you actually call out his name, Benther. Like everybody else, all they say is Tokyo Toe, Tokyo Toe, Tokyo Toe.
Because they ain't got no respect. They ain't got no respect, respectfully. Y'all better put some respect on this shit. Why you guys why you guys think I'm with the culture and I talk how I talk, bro? It's for the culture. I respect the culture, goddammit. That's why when I say asada, I'm not gonna come on here and be like, I want some asada, brother. You want to get some asada? No, bro, I'm for the culture, asada. You know what I'm saying? I'm for Kinsai Matazawa. God damn it, you son of a bitch. I'm for the culture and I fuck with my people. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. You better put some respect on them motherfuckers, god damn it. Motherfucker. Hey, but I fuck with Kinsai, bro. Shout out to the Tokyo Toe. And Matt Gay is low-key garbage. I ain't gonna lie, bro. He's
trash, bro. He was worse than Carlson.
He's trash, dog. He missed more fucking field goals than Daniel Carlson, bro. He's terrible.
Can I ask you guys something?
That's Spy Tech.
My bad.
Spy Tech. Mark S. Better fucking step it up, Spy Tech.
What was you gonna say? Sorry, bro.
I was just gonna ask, and I was guilty of just doing that myself because I forgot them as well. Does either of you two know the two guys who are competing at the long snapper position? Because Bob and Moyer ain't here anymore.
No.
Yeah, we brought in two guys actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I had to Google the names myself. I forgot.
Bob and Meyer got cut as he should have been. He was giving away fucking.
Alex Ward is the guy we brought him as that developmental guy, and he's still on our roster this year. He's the guy who got married and did the long snap on his wedding day. I think to his wife who was holding the ball for the kicker. Yeah, that was a cool video. But Alex Ward and a guy I think we brought in undrafted free agency. I think he was the best or one of the best long snappers at the collegiate level. I think his name's it's like Trzynski or something like that. So that's going to be a little bit of an interesting battle. Who's going to take that role? Because that's definitely uncertain as it stands. Tyler Duzansky. That's it.
Okay.
Alex Ward and Tyler Duzansky are the ones going to be battling it out.
Well,
where's John Kondo when you need him?
Yeah, right. I fuck with Kondo.
First things comes first. The snap's got to get there.
I need me some John Kondo.
So whoever's the better snapper for sure. But I think now they're required to tackle. So with the new setup and how they're going to be more required to run down.
Hey, bro. Hey, I can say Hey, Kinsai had damn near broke the fucking NFL or the college football accuracy record, bro. Let's keep that in mind. That motherfucker only missed like 2 field goals ever in college. He was getting ready to break. Was it Adam Vinatieri's record, chat? Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Bro, it's not only is he's a feel-good story, because I heard you earlier, Nutty Raider Nate, and he definitely is a feel-good story. Shout out to Raider Rich. I'll get into your super chat in here in just a second, Bubba. Appreciate you. Love you, brother. Hey, Kinsai. That motherfucker, bro, he came to America looking for the dream. He was trying to chase the American dream. I respect the fuck out of that. And guess what? He went America, fuck yeah. And he went to Oakland Raider game, he said, bro. And yeah, we lost Raiders. Raiders. Hey, I think we lost that Jake. But
hey, check out Charm's comment. I didn't know that about Charm. That's what's up.
Oh, yeah, I was going to check out that here in a second. Shout out, Charm. I'll get to you in a second, bro. Hey, but he came to a Raider game in Oakland. He came to the town. Shout out to town business. Most motherfuckers terrified to come to the town, to Oakland. That motherfucker came from Japan, goddammit, to the town type shit. Anyways, that motherfucker was like, yeah, I want to be an NFL. I want to play in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And then went to college and was like, yeah, I'm him. They call me the Tokyo Toe. My name Kinsai Matazazoa. Shout out to my mans. You feel me? Went to Hawaii and was like one of the most productive fucking kids come out of. Bro, who got music playing? Who got music? Who got the music? Afakasi got the music. He got some music. All right, anyways, he went to Hawaii and was out there balling. He was out there balling in Hawaii, chat. And then he said on his record-breaking field goal, bro, he said he thought too much, bro, and missed the field goal because he was thinking too much, chat. He almost broke like one of the longest standing accuracy field goals in college football, dog, in Hawaii, bro. You feel me? And the Raiders got his ass. You feel me? And Matt Gay is average at best. He's low-key kind of below average type shit.
Bro, he's a journeyman at this point.
Like I said, whoever it is,
story, guys, he's really good. At the end of the day, guys, he not only is he a feel-good story, but he was extremely productive in college.
Well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
Type shit. So Raider Rich, shout out to my mans with the $5 super chat. He said, so far day camp number 3. What has stood out to you? For me, I'm liking the wide receiver Benson and defensive tackle Tonka. No, I'm with you. I like what we've heard so far about Malik Benson. He's getting a lot of reps out there. Not only is he standing out under Kirk Cousins, chat, but Malik Benson has been Fernando Mendoza's number 1 target so far, all throughout OTAs and
number 1 stunner. What?
And you know, has looked extremely productive. Malik Benson, you know, extremely hard worker. You know, if you go back and you listen to the Locked On Raiders podcast, man, shout out to Q and what they do over there, man. You feel me? He had his coach on there, bro, and said he's one of the hardest working wide receivers they ever seen, bro. And like I said before, bro, if the hardest practice, the guys who go hardest in the practice, the guys who train the hardest are the guys that are going to produce, and he's never had an issue with that. But yeah, shout out to Malik. Tonka's been doing his thing, but I'm excited. I'm excited for the tight ends, Raider Rich, because the wide receivers have been struggling the last couple of days. Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers have been out there cooking some shit. So I'm excited. Regardless, like Nutty Raider Nate said, bro, and I think a lot of us will agree with that, is that, you know, we won't really know exactly what's going on until them pads come on Tuesday. So the pads come on Tuesday. I'm off on Tuesday. So I'll be live at some point after practice. I'll probably do a live presser post-practice. So make sure you guys come through for the live press conference post-practice. I'll be there for that. And then as soon as my boy Nutty Raider Nate gets off work later that night, we'll do a duo stream, me and Nutty Raider Nate. So appreciate you, Raider Rich. Anyways, we pretty much covered everything, guys. You guys got anything else y'all want to talk about?
No, I'm good, man. Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. Sorry about the background noise. That's my mother listening to her church music. So
no, you're fine. Amen. You're fine, my brother. And you know, shout out to Dirty Raider. Shout out to All Eyes. You know, I know you guys are going through a lot of things, and all of your people here, man, your family here for you, man. So if you're watching this shit, you see this shit, bro, we're here for you, man. You feel me? I'll be live. I'll probably try to do a live tomorrow. We'll see what comes out. The Raiders are off tomorrow, chat. So there will not be no training camp tomorrow. They're taking the day off. So I think they report back to camp on Sunday. But once again, there won't be nothing in terms of pads until Tuesday, and I will be live again on. Probably gonna go live every day, but I'll for sure be live on Tuesday. Nutty Raider Nate, you're going live on Sunday, right?
Yeah, Sunday night. Y'all stay tuned. Same time, around 8:30, something like that. Yeah. Link up.
So yeah, make sure you guys are going over to the Loaded Box Entertainment, man. If one of my mods can post the channel in the chat,
We can't post on the vertical.
Yeah, I just want to. Yeah, that's why I said post the name of his channel in the chat. I am gonna share Nutty Raider Nate's link to his channel on my community post right after this live stream. So make sure you go to my community post, as well as Afakasi Raider. If you guys don't know who he is, man, shout out to my brother, man, one of my day ones. And his link will be in my community post right after this as well, man. But Afakasi Raider, you got anything coming up or anything like that?
Solidified at 6 a.m. Friday morning, your time, Nate. That's Pacific, correct? That's when we're linking up?
Yes, sir.
So for your early birds, 6 a.m., it's going to be me and Nate getting active again. Friday morning. I'll be doing some more stuff like here and there. I just don't have anything that's consistent in terms of a timetable, which is my apologies, but it is what it is. Like, life gets in the way, and I try and do the best I can. So, but that's gonna be me and Nate. We're gonna be doing our morning thing. So the early birds are, up and about. 6 a.m. Pacific. What would that be? 7 a.m. Central?
8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Wake up, nation. Let's go.
Make sure you guys go show some love to my brethren, man. Like I said, bro, these guys are my brothers, bro. Like I said, I wouldn't want to share a panel with very many other people, bro, except these two brothers right here. Like I said, much love to my brother Dirty. You feel me? I know he'll be back on this bitch soon, bro. You feel me? Tough times make tough people. You feel me? And I know my brother gonna persevere, as we always will, man. So much love as always. Like Dirty would say, man, there's a million other things you could be doing on YouTube right now. The fact that you blessed us any fucking time on your screen tonight is truly appreciated, man. So RaiderBen, Nutty Raider Nate, Afakasi Raider, my brother Dirty, the Silver and Black Lounge, Loaded Box Entertainment. Man, it's been a great one as always, man. Raider. Peace out, guys.
I'm all right enough.
They didn't have to say much. This is the Raiders. This is one of the most historic, franchises in the NFL with a great history that I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of furthering that history. When you say commitment to excellence, okay, and you look at the walls around here, you look at the players on this wall, and there's a history. There's a history of Hall of Fame players here. There's a history of Super Bowls, and that's that.
And with all this situation and all this shit I went through, the biggest thing that I took from it is I don't give a what everybody has to say. Truly, I really don't give a.
Play clock down to 1. Williams batted up in the air, and it is picked. Crosby. He has been a beast.
We do believe that this is a game psychologically of intimidation and of fear. I don't mean cowardly fear, but fear.
But the Chargers and all those teams. To be honest, I don't like any of them. I hate all teams.
The other team's quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard.
But the Chargers.
What I call the vertical game. We were going to stretch the field vertically. When we came out of the huddle, we weren't looking for first downs. We didn't want to move the chains. We wanted touchdowns. We wanted the big play, the quick strike. It's number one to say you want to do that. It's number two to say that you have the players to do it, but it's number three to do it. Hard. Try not to make mistakes, but don't worry about mistakes because there's only one thing that counts. Just win.
Your commitment to excellence and your will to win will endure forever. You were magnificent.